It is a beautiful day for baseball here at Sal Maglie Stadium in Niagara Falls, New York, as the Jamestown Tarp Skunks go on the road to take on the Niagara Falls Americans. Hello again and welcome to another broadcast of Jamestown Tarp Skunks baseball on the road today, as the Tarp Skunks coming off a 3-day break, which they definitely needed after a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, that last week, it was pretty tough. I mean, that win in Newark, but then 3 straight home games, 3 straight losses. Like you said, they really needed this. They really needed the 3-game break to assess some things, to try and strategize what they want. It's halfway through the second quarter of the season, so hopefully this break is the turnaround that starts for them.
And it all starts with the man on the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Zach McLean will take the ball. Hasn't had a decision yet this season in his 5th start. No record, with a ERA just north of 5, but those numbers are a little bit deceiving, as early in the season, maybe getting 3, maybe getting 3 1/3, sometimes 4 innings, and has been stretched out here over the last couple of weeks. The last game that he went out and pitched, though, a little bit of an anomaly for him.
Yeah, Zach McLean, he's really getting the start here. I mean, like you said, he's getting a little bit more of a stretch, just being able to choose some of these innings more than what he was at the start of the season. But he has really shown to be a really good starter for the Tarp Skunks this season.
So Zach McLean, the first piece of the puzzle here tonight. The second piece of the puzzle, which is something that the Tarp Skunks have struggled with over the last couple of games and even a little bit into last week, and that's some mental mistakes out on the field. Errors have been a problem over the last 7 ball games for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, and tonight, hopefully after that break, things got tightened up, and you won't see as many mental mistakes on the field here tonight.
Yeah, like you said, it's all about the routine plays. Like we said against Niagara, we were saying back to the basics, but after this 3-game break, hopefully it's back to the basics, back to the routine plays. Making those easy mistakes, you have to clean it up on defense, allow less errors and less extra outs, because then that could really damage the momentum that you got going on in the inning.
You know, pitching and defense wins championships is the saying, but you can't win championships if you're not hitting the baseball. Run scoring has been a little hit and miss ever since the Tarp Skunks put 20 runs up in Newark. 2 against New Orleans, although they did get 8 against Niagara Falls, who beat the Tarp Skunks in Jamestown back on Thursday. It's been a little bit of hit and miss, and you almost seem to feel like some of these guys might be pressing a little bit at the plate, trying to do a little too much rather than let the ball come to them and just put it in play.
Yeah, like you said, there's been a lot of pop-ups, a lot more strikeouts now, being behind in the count, fouling these off instead of putting it in play. These things, especially when you get down to it, it's really going to cost you in the end. And I also think a part of it is because when you score a lot of runs, it does weigh on you, can give you a lot of fatigue, and that's what's making it hard as the season's progressed.
So we're almost to the halfway point of the season. Jamestown, who started 11-2, dropping their last 3, they are now 11-5. The Americans started off a little bit rough, but they are now 8-8, including a mercy win over the Newark Pilots on Saturday, and then, of course, that 9-8 win in Jamestown. We'll step away for the playing of I believe they're going to play the Canadian and the American National Anthem here at Sal Maglie Stadium. We'll be back with the first pitch and the starting lineups in just a moment.
Are from Starter Essential Schools, the Rickett Intermediate School, Florida. if your school would be interested in singing the national anthem or playing in between innings, be sure to contact us at www.niagarafallsamericans.com. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you stand and remove your caps as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem. Regan Intermediate School, whenever you're ready, let it rip.
All right, as we are almost set for first pitch here at Sal Maglie Stadium, let's kick it over to Jalen Ferguson for the starting lineups.
So the starting lineup for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, it will be Grant Moore. Then at number 2, it'll be Eric Weeks. Heath Fetchick at number 3. Nate Muncie at 4. Paul Delanto at 5. Caleb Jordan at 6. Branston Lindquist at 7. Tito Kiefer at 8. Dumas at 9. And that'll be it.
And for the Tarp Skunks, they will face on the mound for the Niagara Falls Americans, Mitchell Canuel. It was his 6th appearance. His first game started. He comes in with an 8.59 ERA, 14 and 2/3 innings, 28 hits, 20 runs, 14 hits, or 20 runs, 14 of those earned. He has walked 4 and struck out 7. So Mitchell Canuel on the mound for the Niagara Falls Americans. Defensively, it'll be Ganchow, Harris, and Bauer from left to right. Raul, Salcedo, Gladfelter, and Weiss third to first. Big pass behind the plate, and getting ready to step up to the plate is the leadoff hitter, Grant Moore. Center fielder for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, looking to get the Skunks on the road here. A good start, comes in batting .365 on the season. 19 out of 52, 4 doubles, a triple, and a home run, 10 RBIs. And he will be the man to get things going here. 12 stolen bases against 2 caught stealing on the season so far.
All right, folks.
Really hoping to see him extend the at-bat. A lot of the times, he has been getting behind in the count 0-2 very quickly. I am willing to see him extend that bat and run up the pitcher's pitch count early.
And we're in the visiting press box here at Sal Maglie Stadium, which means we're limited to the infield angle. You get a bit of right field and some center. We'll make sure to do our best to give you the full radio call as the first pitch of the ball game misses for a ball. Count 1-0 and first pitch at 6:32 on a beautiful day here in Niagara Falls, 74 degrees. nary a cloud in the sky as a swing and a miss for Grant Moore, and the count goes 1-1. Just a few wisps out there against a bright, crisp blue sky. That one comes in low. 2-1.
They're playing on that turf again. If you remember the last time they've been here, it's a lot of awkwardness.
Couple of near misses on the injury, as that is a near miss at the strike zone. Count goes 3-1 to Grant Moore. Remember Blake Herman awkwardly trying to score and injured his ankle or knee as a swing and a miss at ball 4. Count goes full 3-2 to the leadoff hitter, Grant Moore.
Hey, remember Lindquist also at third tweaked his ankle.
And that one misses, and Grant Moore draws a leadoff walk for the Tarp Skunks. And so with one on, nobody out, that is going to bring up the third baseman, Eric Weeks.
And that's the thing. That's what you want. You want to get your leadoff hitter in on base. But the thing that we talked about is being able to drive them across.
For Eric Weeks, he comes in with a .388 average, 19 hits and 49 at-bats. There's a ground ball past the diving Salcedo at short into left field, and a no wasted time on that one. Base hit through the right side, and runners at first and second with nobody out. And that's going to bring up the hot-hitting Heath Fetchick. And for Fetchick, he's really come along so far this season. Average up to 263 with a couple of doubles, 7 RBIs. And he's got one sitting out there 180 feet away. Canuel kicks and throws out of the stretch. First pitch catches the zone for a strike. And the count goes 0-1.
You know, like we said, Heath Fetchick, it took him a while to get used to the at-bat, get used to everything. But now he's starting to see the ball a lot better, being able to drive those into the outfield.
He's flexing some power, too. He had a ball that hit the center of the fence at about 410 as that one's fouled straight back. He was looking to send that one 410. Any other ballpark in the PGCBL, he would have been rounding the bases on a home run trot, but Dietrich Park hit it to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark.
Man, he hit it off the blue meanie.
The 0-2 pitch, as Canuel taking a long time to decide. There's a ground ball foul down the third base side, and we'll do 0-2 all over again.
He pulled that one. Heath Fetchick has been making contact on these pitches, but he really wants to drive one in.
Yeah, that was a good way to stay alive. You saw 2 fastballs that he took hard hacks at as the 0-2 swing and a miss. And Fetchick goes down on strikes. Back to the fastball for Canuel. One away here. And that's going to bring up Nate Muncy. Muncy had a good game on Friday. Couple of hits, boosting his average up to 231 on the season, so it's on its way up. Canuel kicks and throws. First pitch off the plate for a ball. Count goes 1-0.
Like you said, he's working his way back. He was in the 8th spot at one time this season. Now he's worked his way up into the power hole spot.
More dancing off second. Canuel kicks and throws. That one comes in low. And the count goes 2-0. Going back to that sequence on Heath Fetchick, it was 2 fastballs that Fetchick showed he had pretty much timed up. Third pitch that was grounded foul was an off speed just out in front. But Canuel got him with the 4th pitch fastball. So there's a ground ball foul. Count goes to 2-1.
Foul on one of these pitches, but we're starting to see a lot more Tarp Skunks able to strike first, putting some men on the bases early.
The 2-1, that went inside for a ball 3-1. Canuel struggling a little bit here. First start of the season for him. All of his other appearances have been in relief, so it might be a little first inning jitters. As the 3-1 comes in and misses. And the forest full of skunks here with one out. And that's going to bring up Paul Delanto.
The DH and Niagara Falls American, number 4, Paul Delanto.
Paul Delanto, who played here last year. Now, one of the key members of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Settles in with the forest full of skunks, and he'd like to make some noise here. Canuel from the set. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball foul off to the right. First pitch swinging. And it's 0-1.
And Delanto, we haven't seen Delanto in the starting lineup in a while.
Well, he went to his sister's graduation on Friday. So he was unavailable.
He did pinch hit against Olean.
As that one comes in for a ball. 1-1 the count. For Delanto, comes in hitting .267. He's got 2 home runs, 10 RBIs, including a grand salami in Olean. As that pitch comes in, ground ball, stopped at third, but it's going to be a base hit, possibly more. 1 run scores. Delanto going to pull into second with a 2-run double. And the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, on the strength of 2 hits this inning, have taken a 2-0 lead.
You know, we're starting to see that Jamestown's Tarp Skunks bat, being able to strike first, get a couple runs on. That was a good diving effort by Royal, but it just gets past the glove and 2 runs scored.
Definitely on the hot corner. And now with 2 runners in scoring position, C.J. Dugan comes in.
That hit him.
That did hit him to reload the bases.
And I think you're right. This could be first start jitters for Canuel. Starting to lose this inning pretty quickly.
As Caleb Jordan stands in. One of only 3 left-handed hitters for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks.
I don't even know where they're from. Drag it out. Let's start.
First pitch, swing and a miss. And the count goes 0-1. For Jordan, I'll tell you after this pitch. Swinging, there's a high chopper, too short. Hitting off the glove of Salcedo and rolling into left field. 2 runs are going to score. And we'll see how they score that, but it's quickly 4-0. And are they going to give him a? They should give him a hit on it. That was a hard hit ball into the turf that took a weird hop and bounced off Salcedo's glove and rolled into left. Nope, they're going to give Salcedo an error. As Branson Lindquist steps in, he takes the first pitch he sees for a ball.
I want to go back on my previous play. Like you said, that was hard hit into the turf. That's the thing with turf versus grass. The ball is going to bounce really high.
There's a foul that lands near us. Makes a lot of noise. That'll wake you up in the morning. 1-1. You know, for Jordan and for Salcedo, I think that was a rough call on him. A difficult play as that one's fouled off. 1-2. And for Jordan, I think he got robbed. He got robbed of 2 RBIs and a base hit there. I disagree with that error call all the way around.
Yeah, that was a pretty good hit. Very tough play for Salcedo.
1-2 the count. As that one falls in low, 2-2. Still only 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Skunks have put 4 across.
Yeah, this is the kind of inning I like to see from the Tarp Skunks. Putting up more runs than they do hits.
And a swing and a miss, and Lindquist goes down. on strikes, 2 down here. And that will bring up the 9th hitter in this inning, Tito Kiefer. For Kiefer, batting .333 on the season, does have 4 RBIs. And would love an extra base hit here. Has not had an extra base this season. First pitch grounded to short. Salcedo on the slide from his knees. Throw to first. Not in time. Salcedo is showing range out there and arm strength, but just a little bit too far into the outfield grass. And once again, the Forests are full of skunks. And the 10th man to the plate in this inning, it's going to be the speedy left-hander, Matthew Dumas.
I got to say, that was a good hit by Tito Kiefer, making Salcedo run into the grass to buy him more time to reach to first.
Dumas' first pitch swinging grounds it to first. Picked up by Weiss, who takes it to the bag himself, and the side is retired. But 4 runs come across on 3 hits, 1 error, and the base is left loaded. We go to the bottom of the first inning. It's the Tarp Skunks 4, and the Americans coming to bat.
And welcome back here. This is the starting lineup for the Americans. Leading off is Justin Gladfelter. And it will be David Harris. And number 3, it is Matthew Ganchow. And number 4 in cleanup, it is Dominic Zangardi. And number 5, Nick Past. Number 6 is Derek Gismondi. Number 7 is Miguel Salcedo. Number 8 is Adam Weiss. Number 9 is Cooper Rowell. And at number 10, at the bottom, is Jackson Bauer. And the pitcher for the Tarp Skunks, it is Zach McLean. And here is Dre to give you the splits on him.
All right, for Zach McLean, it's his 5th start, 5th appearance. Comes in with a 5.06 ERA. 16 innings of work. He's given up 20 hits, 15 runs, only 9 of those earned. Has walked 7 against 19 strikeouts, but batters hitting .299 against him. So he needs to come out and have a quick 1, 2, 3 inning of his own. As Justin Gladfelter stands in, right-handed hitter for the Niagara Falls Americans.
Gladfelter had himself quite a day against the Newark Pilots as he walked and he got hit by the pitch. He also has a couple of singles and came around to score 3 times.
It's the first pitch into the carpet for a ball, 1-0, comes in batting .308 on the season. As McLean comes set, kicks and throws. That one right down the pipe for a strike, and the count goes 1-1.
Like you said before the inning, McLean is going to want to have a 1, 2, 3 inning. I don't really do pretty good momentum for your hitters as well.
And the 1-1 right down the middle for a strike, 1-2. Yeah, getting back into the dugout early is definitely high on the priority list. I don't think you're going to see McLean dancing around and trying to play around with the strike zone. I think he's going to challenge hitters here tonight. As there's a ground ball to second picked up by Jordan. Throw on to first. And quickly, there's one away.
Gladfelter was really moving on that one, but good job by Caleb Jordan. You're going to ground it cleanly and get the out at first.
So David Harris now stands in, and Harris has been a bit of a thorn in the side of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Comes in with a .406 batting average. 4 RBIs on the season, only one extra base hit. That was a double. But he was responsible for getting a number of runs coming in on Thursday night at Dietrich.
Yeah, thorn on the side. He's going to really have to go after him.
First pitch misses outside for a ball. Count goes 1-0. Absolutely gorgeous day here in Niagara Falls. 74 degrees. Bit of a breeze. After 3 days off, nice to be back out at a ballpark. As that one just misses low. Count goes 2-0.
Yeah, it's mostly no clouds in the area. There are a couple of clouds, but these last 3 days just being cloudy, some rain. It's good to have a very clean day right now.
And the 2-0 pitch comes in. That one, ooh, good frame job by Lindquist behind the plate, but no sell to the umpire. 3-0 the count. And Harris working himself into a good position here.
Like you said, McLean is just going to go after him. Going to have to challenge him something. Rely on your position players.
He hasn't missed by much. As that one, same location, this time called a strike. The count goes 3-1.
I think it all depends on how you framed it. Like how Lindquist swung his arm. He's able to get that frame job there.
So McLean working his way back into this at-bat. There's a chopper to second. Jordan has it, and by the time the ball bounced into his glove, Harris was into first base. So a one-out single for the Americans, and that's going to bring up the third-place hitter, Matthew Ganja, the left fielder.
That's the thing with those choppers. It's going to bounce really high. It's going to buy the players some time to get to any base they want.
And have I ever mentioned that I really don't like turf?
I can understand that. It's very painful.
First pitch comes in low under the knees for a ball, 1-0. Yeah, it's almost like watching. It's like watching baseball almost like on a trampoline.
Not even that. When the sun is beaming down on that turf, it feels like hot lava.
1-0 pitch, taken for a strike, and McLean evens the count at 1 apiece. Bottom of the first inning here in Niagara Falls.
You got Harris at first, but it looks like McLean is not even that worried about him, to be honest.
1-1 pitch. There's a grounder back to McLean. Bounced off of him, picked it back up, and went to the only way he could get an out to first. And there are 2 away. Moving up to second is Harris.
It's a good thing it wasn't hit back up the middle too hard. Looks like McLean is all right.
As Dominic Zangardi comes in, the extra hitter for the Americans. Another left-hander. And McLean's set to go back to work here. Checking Harris at second. And the first pitch up and in for a ball, 1-0. That one just around the letters. And Zangardi ahead 1-0 here. McLean trying to get the Skunks back to the dugout after a 4-run top of the first inning. Swinging, there's a chopper. That one goes foul, and the count goes 1-1.
I'm noticing both teams are putting the ball on the ground instead of putting it in the air.
I think that's definitely going to be a strategy here, especially after the top of the first inning. Couple of balls hit into the turf. One for an error, one for a base hit. As McLean comes set, swing and a foul back. Then the count goes to 1-2.
Love that. I love that off-speed decision, making Zangardi fall behind to that one.
Well, show a couple of fastballs, get it into his head, and then flip the script here. Middle of the count, 1-2. See what McLean comes back with. I'm thinking fastball challenge right here. Checking Harris, the 1-2. There's a line drive over the head of Kiefer at short. That is going to be a base hit and score a run for the Niagara Falls Americans. RBI single gets the Americans on the board, and it's 4-1.
Good effort by Kiefer trying to vertically catch it. Fortunately, it was just over his head. Dumas was looking for the throw to home, but he bobbled the ball on the transfer, and so he just had to throw it to the cutoff.
So now with 2 outs and a runner at first, that's going to bring up the 5th place hitter, the catcher, Nick Past. For Past, he's a .333 hitter as there's a check over to first. And Zangardi back. It's Kids Day here at the ballpark. A lot of youth. As that one's taken for a strike. 0-1 to the Niagara Falls backstop.
And Nick Past in his last game was 0 for 2. Had a walk, came around to score, hit by the pitch, and also came around to score on that too.
Wind blowing out to right here. As that one misses off the outside edge. Count goes to 1-1.
Hopefully McLean could get out of this inning. Well, minor damage done.
It looks like the wind blowing in a little bit. It might be difficult to get anything really deep out into the outfield. Swing and a miss, and the count goes 1-2. As Pats now has his back against the wall here. Watching the Americans' third base coach giving the signal to Zangardi, first to third on a base hit. So that one misses outside. Count goes 2-2.
I want to put it in his mind, the off speed, but now I would go at him with a strike or with a fastball, make him chase and swing and miss.
Yeah, I don't think McLean wants to go 3-2 here. And the pitch. Called. Strike 3. Pats goes down looking. And that will do it. But a run on 2 hits, 1 runner left on base. We go to the top of the second inning. It's 4-1 Jamestown. As we are back here in Sal Maglie Stadium, Niagara Falls, New York, Tarp Skunks with a 4-1 lead. As we go to the top of the second inning, we go to the top of the Tarp Skunks order as the Skunks put up 10 batters in that first inning. And it will be Moore, Kiefer, and Fetchit. And back on the mound for his second inning of work is Mitchell Kenuel.
And Grant Moore was the one to get it started in the last inning, so let's get it started again.
As the first pitch to the Tarp Skunks center fielder called strike one.
The thing about the Tarp Skunks, as this game progresses, what they're going to need to do is be able to maintain this lead.
That one fouled straight back, and quickly Moore falls behind 0-2. Moore has a way to find himself on base almost any at bat. Not afraid of an 0-2 count as that one misses up for a ball. Count goes 1-2.
That is true. He is not afraid of an 0-2 count. It's all about finding a way to get on base, like you said.
Is Kenuel's next pitch in the carpet for a ball. And it's 2-2. Can't call it dirt. Absolutely can't do it.
And I forget, the Seagulls have been diving.
As that one fouled, and the count stays 2-2. Yeah, I was going to say, I hadn't seen any of the... Oh, there we go. Now we got the Top Gun Seagulls out here. A dogfight over the first base bleachers. Somewhere Tom Cruise is writing a script for Top Gun 4. There's a line drive just fouled down the third baseline, and we'll do 2-2 all over again.
I was thinking, it's because it was very rare to get a foul ball at the press box in Dietrich. I don't know what it was like to get a foul ball here, since now we are on the left field line.
I would say probably the odds have increased by about 30%. There's a hard ground ball through the hole on the right side. That is a base hit for Grant Moore. First hit of the game for him. Second time he has been on base to lead off an inning. And with one on, nobody out, that's going to bring up Eric Weeks.
And again, I'm noticing the Tarp Skunks, they have been attacking on the ground rather than the air. They've been getting on base via ground balls rather than fly balls.
Take it any way it comes. Fly ball, ground ball, hit it into the carpet, bounce it over someone's head. First pitch, take it for a strike. 0-1 the count.
You'd be more able to hit one or bounce one over somebody's head here than at Dietrich.
Again, it's that trampoline-like surface they play on as the 0-1 misses. And the count goes to 1-1. Other than that, I mean, this is a beautiful ballpark. Swinging, there's a ground ball off the glove of the third baseman, Rowell. That's going to be extra bases. Moore turns the corner at second. He will pull into third as Weeks rolls into second with a double, his second hit of the ball game. And the Skunks continue to do damage against Kenuel. They've got two runners in scoring position with nobody out, and Heath Fetchit coming to the plate.
That is the second time Roa has made a diving effort. It gets off his glove, goes into the outfield, and then there are extra bases because of it.
So now Fetchik stands in, struck out his first time up. Takes the first pitch he sees off the plate for a ball, 1-0. And you know, for Fetchik, he wants to drive something into the outfield, bringing those runs here.
Like I said, I mean, the last at bat, he was fouling them off.
As that one taken for a strike.
He's fouling them off, making contact. Like you said, he wants to drive one in. He wants to get extra bases.
There's a weak chopper toward third, and that one goes foul. And the count goes to 1-2. One thing I like about Fetchik, not afraid to swing the bat.
Not. He is not afraid to swing the bat. He wants to make contact.
As there's a drive out into center field, that's going to one hop in front of the center fielder Harris for a base hit. Coming in to score is Grant Moore, and the Tarp Skunks with another hit. They take a 5-1 lead.
Talk about a line drive. There you go. He did it. Although he did get a single, he was still able to drive the run across and tack on one more.
So now that's going to bring up Nate Muncy now. And the first pitch outside for a ball, 1-0. Muncy, he walked his first time up, came around to score. One of 4 Tarp Skunks across the plate in the top of the first. And with an RBI opportunity here. Runner goes, pitch taken for a strike. There is no throw down to second.
I think the Americans knew that strategy. As you can see, Past was not going to throw it. They knew that strategy.
As that one taken for a strike, and the count goes 1-2. Yeah, I mean, Fetchick not the fastest runner on the Tarp Skunks, but again, not afraid to put himself in play. And the 1-2 swinging. There's a chopper. Oh, nice glove by the second baseman. Gladfelter throws on the first for the out, but coming in to score is Eric Weeks, and the Skunks have pushed their lead to 6-1. Fetchick staying at second wisely because Gladfelter came down, could have gone to third for the lead out. As that'll bring up Paul Delanto now with 1 out. Delanto standing in, takes the first pitch inside for a ball. 1-0 to him. Delanto with a base hit in his first time up. Couple RBIs. And Fetchick dancing around at second, getting into the head of Canuel. Here comes the pitch. There's a ground ball under the glove of Roll at third into left field. Fetchick is going to go to third and dive back into the bag as the throw comes into third. Delanto gets on base again, and it looks like they're going to give Roll another error.
They gave him the E5 on that one. That was a pretty tough play, though. Roll just mistimed the ground ball.
Runner goes on the ball that gets away from Past. Pass ball to Nick Past.
It's too bad that was a pass ball. Delanto has not completed his side quest of 2 stolen bases this season.
So 1-0 to Caleb Jordan, who was robbed of RBIs last inning as he pops that one up. Shallow shortstop side. Gladfelter had to come over to make the catch. And there is 2 away. That was kind of an odd play. Salcedo took a weird route. You had both the center fielder and the left fielder coming in to converge, and Gladfelter all the way from second came out to shortstop to catch that ball. And now with 2 outs, that's going to bring up
I think
that was CJ Dugan. It's going to bring up Caleb Jordan. So, little curse there on my scorebook. As Jordan drives one into the right field, going over, sliding, and he can't catch it as Bauer. 1 run will score. Coming in and holding at second. We'll see if they give him the double as Caleb Jordan, 2-run score. It's now 8-1.
And that was pretty good off the bat. He made solid contact Bauer tried to make a diving effort, could not get to it. That's going to be a hit.
Yeah, so hitting 2 RBIs, Caleb Jordan getting a little redemption after getting robbed in the first inning. Lindquist with a drive into left field. Coming in is Ganchow, and he puts it away for out number 3. Side retired, but the Tarp Skunks continue to roll here. 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 runner left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's 8-1 Jamestown. Eight to 1 Jamestown here in the bottom of the second inning as the Tarp Skunks have really opened it up here. It is going to be for the Niagara Falls Americans. It'll be Gasmondi, Salcedo, and Weiss. 6, 7, 8 due up here. And Zach McLean out on the mound for his second inning of work.
But McLean, he only gave up 1 run, so he minimized the damage here. But again, Tarp Skunks are going to need to hold on to this lead because, again, tagging all runs early, but they have struggled to maintain leads. They're going to have to maintain this lead.
So we'll see how the Tarp Skunks respond here in the bottom of the inning. See if they can hold the Americans. A 1-2-3 inning would be absolutely perfect. As McLean comes set. And the first pitch to Gasmondi misses outside for a ball. Count goes 1-0.
That's the thing. When you get a lead as early, you're going to have to protect it as long as possible.
McLean comes set. Gasmondi, 379 hitter so far this season. Waits, swings, and misses. And the count goes 1-1.
If you remember the last time when they played on turf, forgot who was the starting pitcher, but they struggled on that turf mound. But McLean is not fazed by it at all.
That one misses low and away, 2-1. Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I want to say,
I think it was Jack Castillo, if I'm not mistaken.
Could have been. I wanted to say it was Ryan Tatar, but honestly, I can't remember. Of course, I can't remember how many cups of coffee I had today. That one misses off the plate. Count goes 2-1.
How's that shirt coming out?
Or make it 3-1. Oh, the shirt's done.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I got 2 of them on order. One for me, one for my wife.
Proceed with coffee.
Absolutely. 3-1 the count to the 5-place hitter or 6-place hitter for the Americans, and he draws a leadoff walk. That'll bring up the shortstop, Miguel Salcedo.
That's not the thing, though. The leadoff walk. Now you're going to have to protect here. Nothing past you.
You know, one thing the Skunks, I think, really need to focus on is treat this like a 1-0 ball game. Forget that you have a 7-run lead early on. You got to treat this as a 1-0 ball game every single inning. First pitch, swinging a foul back into the stands. And the count goes 1-0 or 0-1.
Better yet, treat this like you're losing. Like you're down by 1.
No, because then you start to force. I think then you start to force things. You start to push things when you don't have to.
That is true. Like I said, though, they got the lead pretty early, so it's still plenty of ball game. They have to salvage this lead for a long time.
Next pitch bounces in the carpet, and the count goes 1-1. Every time I see a ball bouncing into the carpet, I think, maybe I should go work for a carpeting and flooring place.
When you say the carpet, it reminded me back when the Twins played in the same stadium as the Vikings.
Oh, the Baggy Dome in Minnesota. As that one misses, and the count goes 2-1. Oh yeah, that Baggy Dome was ridiculous. Of course, the official name, the Metrodome, named the Baggy Dome for the black plastic, looked like Glad trash bags hanging over the right field bleachers when they were pushed in. Throw over to first, and nothing doing there. But yeah, that stadium, that was a terrible. That and Olympic Stadium in Montreal were probably the two worst for watching baseball on TV. That one comes back into the zone. 2-2 the count.
In Montreal.
Oh man. Yeah, I see a lot of, because I'm in a bunch of different baseball groups, and there's one that's dedicated to following MLB expansion. And I keep seeing all these bring back Montreal. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Salcedo, one away here. And that'll bring up the 8th place hitter, Adam Weiss, the Americans' first baseman.
We got here, we get our first baseman, number 26, Adam Weiss.
So I see a lot of this bring back Montreal, and Montreal should be the next expansion and everything. And the one thing that irks me about that argument, and I mean, I could see an argument for Montreal because they're a former major league city, as that one's fouled off. And the count goes 0-1. Montreal, former major league city. As a matter of fact, Jamestown was the home of the Expos' single A affiliate back in the day.
That's interesting.
That's why Randy Johnson has a plaque up on the wall of Hall of Famers that have played at Dietrich Park.
That's right.
And the next pitch fouled off again. Count goes 0-2. But the thing that irks me about it is I keep seeing Montreal deserves the team back. Why? Why did instead of just throwing out the word, give me at least an explanation or defend the argument. Don't just say they deserve it. Because nobody deserves anything, especially when it comes to MLB expansion.
That is true.
There's another foul back. Good stay alive by Weiss here.
Weiss is fighting on this count right now.
I mean, it looks like if all things go the way that everything looks, at least from my perspective, it looks like it's going to be Nashville and Salt Lake City. Salt Lake City has done a huge job in turning themselves into a major sports attraction. As that one gets behind Lindquist, goes all the way to the backstop. Moving over to second is Gazmondi. So now a runner in scoring position. Count 1-2, still only one away here. Bottom of the second inning. And the Tarp Skunks leading 8-1. Zach McLean trying to get out of the inning here.
I do got to agree with you. I mean, Salt Lake City, they got the Jazz. They just got the Mammoth.
Mm-hmm.
They really they already got a minor league baseball team, the Salt Lake Bees.
Yeah.
The affiliate for the Angels. So it wouldn't surprise me.
There's the 1-2. There's a pop-up. First base side. Muncie backs up on it. Gloves it, and there are two away.
Good job by Muncie being able to track that one and get under for the out. So there's two, and one are in scoring position.
Now Cooper Rowell steps in the plate, third baseman for the Americans. A couple of errors in the first 2 innings, responsible for a few Tarp Skunks runs. Now he stands there against Zach McLean, who, with the exception of a little speed bump in the first and an even smaller one here in the bottom of the second, has been cruising along here. As that one misses up 1-0.
I think it was a very good pickup. Very good pickup. You know, started in a lot of these games, and he has been very consistent.
He's working at a pace where he could go a complete 5 and put himself in line for a win. As that one misses up 2-0. You know, I have a hard time advocating for a major league city that lost their team to get another one. You know, Oakland is another team, another city like that. Montreal being one.
And Montreal still has sports teams. Oakland has lost all of theirs.
Well, in all honesty, Oakland, I think, deserved to lose all of them, but that's another story for another time. There are a lot more problems in that city than trying to figure out how to come up with public money for a ballpark. Plus, you know, with the whole Al Davis Raiders situation back in the 90s, coming back from L.A., that took a lot of money away from the renovations that the A's had already wanted to do to the Coliseum. So, as that one at the knee is for a called strike. Count goes to 2-2.
Lost all of theirs. Lost Golden State.
Yeah, Golden State now playing at the Chase Arena in San Francisco.
They lost the Raiders when they went to Las Vegas.
Yeah, the A's following them a couple of seasons later. You know, I guess they could loosely relate themselves to the San Jose Sharks, but that one is called strike 3, and the inning is over. No runs, no hits, 1 runner left. We go to the top of the 3rd inning. Jalen Ferguson set to do the heavy lifting. We'll be back from Sal Maglie in just a moment. Back here at Sal Maglie Stadium, 8-1 Jamestown with the lead as we go to the top of the 3rd inning. It's going to be Tito Kiefer, Matthew Dumas, and back to the top of the order for Grant Moore. And here to tell you all about it is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you. The first one in the dirt for a ball to Tito Kiefer, and it is quickly 1-0. I got to say, this camera and this angle that we are in, it's a little different. He was in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. It's a lot different. It's almost like how we were back in Olean. Only we were a lot more elevated there.
It was also about 15 degrees colder out there, too, after 7:30.
The previous pitch was in the dirt for a ball, 2-1. And yeah, I gotta, that temperature dropped 20 degrees in an hour. So that one in there for a strike, and so now it is 2-2 the count.
Yeah, we'll be back in Olean soon enough. July 2nd. And we'll see the difference between June and July.
And a ground ball, and Rowell stumbles, cannot get to it. Tito Kiefer gets on base. That'll be a leadoff single for the Tarp Skunks here in the top of the third, and that's going to bring in Matthew Dumas.
This is a tough game for Roll so far. It's only the top of the third inning. He's had a couple of plays hit his way. It's almost like the Skunks are challenging him at this point.
I mean, yeah. They've been hitting it to him. Couple of plays off the glove, getting past him. Snapped on the first, not in time. Yeah, a couple of plays off the glove of Rowell, getting past him, and then a couple of diving efforts. They're really attacking that left side. That one line drive, and that one gets through for a base hit for Dumas. So a couple of singles to start it off for the Tarp Skunks. And we roll it back up to the top of the lineup. That'll bring in Grant Moore, the center fielder.
Stepping in the leadoff hitter, center fielder number 2, Grant Moore.
Grant Moore.
Great piece of hitting by Dumas.
It is. Grant Moore got a walk, came around to score, and he singled and came around to score. So he is 1 for 1 here. As he watches the off speed, catch the zone for a strike.
No, I'm not trying to be sarcastic, but I mean, I thought that was Canuel's fastball.
Was it?
I haven't seen him throw real gas. Oh, there's one. Okay.
That one missed for a ball, 1-0.
As there is action that is going to start here in the Americans bullpen. I'll try to get you that information in a moment.
There is stretching and tossing in the Tarp Skunks bullpen as well. That one's fouled behind the plate. You know, the first pitch of the at-bat, you know, the only reason why I thought that was an off-speed is because it dipped at the last minute.
It looked like Dominic Zangardi, the designated hitter, going down to the bullpen.
So that one misses, and so now it is 3-2, or 2-2, actually. Tito Kiefer at second, Dumas at first, nobody out. Grant Moore at the plate. Eric Weeks on deck. That one in the dirt, so now it is a full count. You know, we quite possibly could see a double steal.
Dumas, he definitely wants to go. Talking to him about that before the game. He wants to be running.
Off speed misses, and so it is ball 4. Forest full of Skunks here with nobody out, and that's going to bring in Eric Weeks.
For Grant Moore, that's his third time on base in 3 innings. That's got to be a record. I don't ever think I have seen, and I'll have to go through all my scorebooks over the last 3 years, but I don't think I've ever seen that.
Also got to remember that game against Batavia, and he had 5 at-bats that were not recorded. So that one is in there for a strike to Eric Weeks.
For Weeks, he's had a single and a double, scored twice so far, so he's having himself a pretty solid evening here so far in Niagara Falls.
You know, I don't want to jump to conclusions, but they really did need that 3-day off day. So that one is in there for a strike, and so now Weeks is behind in the count 0-2.
Yeah, I think, you know, a lot of the things that we talked about in the pregame with, you know, some of the errors that have popped up and some of the pitching difficulties that we've had here, I think a lot of that could be attributed to some fatigue here early on in the season.
And got him the chase. And Eric Weeks is sat down on strike, so that will be the first out. That's going to bring in Keith Fetchick, the extra hitter.
It's the third strikeout for Canuel.
Struck out Lindquist, struck out Fetchick, and just now struck out Eric Weeks. That one line drive. Oh, and a snag by Rowell. Kiefer is safe at third. And so there are 2 away. That was pretty close.
Wow. And for all the issues that Rowell had in innings number 1 and 2, that has to feel good. Redemption on a hard line drive right, just to his right, had her leap up and reach across. Almost got Kiefer on a double play.
So that's going to bring in Nate Muncie, who watches the first one for a ball. 1-0 to Muncie. Muncie, he's walked. Also grounded out to second base. And a line drive. That one is going to touch down. Kiefer's going to come in to score. Dumas is on his way home. Grant Moore is going to stop at third. And so Nate Muncie has himself a 2 RBI single. And that's going to be a 10-1 ball game. Tarp Skunks up.
And we're getting a long, slow walk from the dugout. Not sure if the bullpen is ready yet at this point. But they are having a discussion. For Muncie, he's been, over the last few games, he seems to really have found his stroke and has been able to drive the baseball a lot better than even, the previous first, maybe even into the second week. Seems like he's really found his stroke, found his confidence at the plate, and has done a tremendous job driving in runs and really starting to step up to be the everyday first baseman, or at least taking a majority of the load. A lot of people thought Nolan Smith was gonna have that role when he came in, but Smith doesn't look like he's gonna actually make it to the team this year. Heard he was a bit banged up, so might not make it in. And they really needed someone at first to step up. JRC also as well, though, has been doing a phenomenal job as well.
That's true. Coach Joe has been interchanging Muncie and JRC. First one to Delanto. And that one misses for a ball. But yeah, like you said, they've been interchanging Muncie and JRC at first, but Muncie now, for his second straight start. That one misses to Delanto. It's 2-0. Delanto, he has hit a double. He's got on base via the error by Roel. And he came around to score twice. That one is popped up behind the plate. Passed. Does not get to it. Is out of play. So now it's 2-1 the count to Delanto.
And I was thinking, I didn't want to put it out in the universe, but I was thinking, with the way that the Skunks are building momentum in this game, going back to the dugout with 0 runs in the score this inning would have been a huge moral lifter for the Americans, and maybe might have taken some of that momentum away from the Skunks. But getting those 2 runs, they just keep that momentum rolling.
That last one catches the zone for a strike. 2-2 to Delanto. And a swing and a miss by Delanto. And he sat down on strikes, and that will end the inning. Not before the Tarp Skunks being able to put 2 across. It'll be 10-1. We go to the bottom of the third. It's still 10-1. As we are back here, it'll be Jackson Bauer, then top of the lineup, Gladfelter and Harris. Zach McLean's still out there on the mound, putting up that 0 back in the second inning. So hopefully he can carry on this momentum and bring everybody back into the dugout very quickly.
From Newsville, Pennsylvania. Number 1, Jackson Bauer.
Jackson Bauer. Is due up here. Only 2 hits by the Americans. And lays down a bunt. Gets past McLean, throws on the first. Oh, and Muncie could not get a glove on that one.
Yeah, and that was an easy scoring decision on that one. Base hit. That was a tough play for Weeks at third, having to charge it on the bare hand and on the run, make the throw against a very speedy runner.
Well, if you saw how in Weeks it was, he was behind the mound when he made that throw. So that's going to bring in the top of the lineup, Justin Gladfelter, as he grounded out to second in his last at bat. And snapped on the first, not in time.
So you see a number of the kids departing the first base bleacher area.
That one misses the zone. So it is now 1-0 the count to Justin Gladfelter. And a foul ball behind the plate. So now the count is even 1-1. Jackson Bauer at first. Americans 1 run on 3 hits and 2 errors. Tarp Skunks with 10 runs on 10 hits, no errors. Putting up 4 in the first, 4 in the second, and 2 in the third. That one is fouled behind the plate.
Now it looks like that's heading out toward the concourse area.
A little bit of stretching and tossing. The Tarp Skunks bullpen there.
I think that's just more getting a little bullpen work in than anything. I don't see any sense of urgency or anything. It's more working on stuff.
That one driven out to right field. C.J. Dugan ranges under it, makes the catch. And so there is 1 away as that retires Gladfelter. It's going to bring up David Harris. Like you said, he has been a real pain or a real thorn in the side of the Tarp Skunks as he has driven a single and also came around to score, putting up that 1 run.
One of the few Americans that have actually been able to figure out Zach McLean, at least in his first at bat. Let's see if McLean can find an answer here in the third.
That one misses the zone. 1-0 the count to David Harris.
I'd like to remind you we're going to be back at Dietrich Park on Thursday. It is buyout night, presented by JCC. As the Batavia Muck Dogs come into Dietrich for their first appearance, 6:30, first pitch. You don't want to miss it.
Actually glad they're coming to us this time. So that one misses for a ball.
It would be nice to welcome in our Batavia counterparts. They've actually treated us rather well out at Dwyer Stadium this season.
Yeah, they have.
I will give them all the credit in the world.
Very welcoming.
We haven't walked into a ballpark that isn't Dietrich Park yet and really had any issues with anyone. Everyone has been super friendly and nice.
But I will say, that one misses. Lindquist having to reach out for that one, as it is now 3-0 to David Harris.
And little meeting at the mound between Lindquist and McLean.
That's what I was saying. Like, I'd say here at Sal Maglie Stadium, I think this has been the more inviting for us.
Oh yeah, those guys over there are really good. Really friendly.
Not knocking anybody else who isn't here, but I'm seeing, you know,
It's a tier list.
yeah. See, very welcoming, very inviting.
Yeah.
They don't mind us being here. In fact,
They gave us our own room.
Exactly.
Go to your room.
That one misses, and he walks David Harris. And so now 2 on, runners at first and second, and that's going to bring in Matthew Ganchow.
Wait, here comes the test. Oh. I thought they were going to let that go. We had to see if the American fans were going to do what the Scottish fans did in Boston. Are they going to keep it going? No, different song. They switched it. I was going to do a whole Boston-Scotland tie-in.
Those fans for the World Cup, it's very energetic.
Oh, yeah.
First pitch to Harris, popped up. Lindquist, and that one into the bleachers.
I'm not going to say a word, sir.
It was a good thing that Lindquist stopped because these dugouts does not have a railing. So if he went any further, he was going to be tumbling into the dugout.
Yeah, you could hear the coaches saying, out, 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 as Lindquist was approaching. Coaching extends to every part of the ballpark.
So Matthew Ganchow behind the count 0-1. Runners at first and second. And another popped up foul. So make that 0-2 the count.
And that one out of play. Out of the stands, too. There's a guy in an orange shirt out there who has been ball hawking a few of these pop fouls.
I wonder if they still have that deal where
Oh, yeah.
get the foul ball, you trade it in for some candy.
Yeah?
We all remember your strategy.
Well, I never put it out on the air.
That one misses pretty close.
Yeah. That was more of a gift than anything, I think.
So 1-2 the count to Ganchow.
Yeah, no, I've got the scam. I can't bring myself to fill everybody else in on the scam.
Bauer at second. David Harris at first. That one's in the dirt. Good block by Lindquist. So now the count is 2-2. And if you're Zach McLean, you do not want to lose this batter after being ahead in the count 0-2. That was one of the problems last week, losing a lot of these batters after being ahead in the count 0-2. But 2-2 to Matthew Ganchow. That one, ground ball to Weeks. Weeks on the second. On the first, does not get the double play, but they do get the out at second. It will be 2 gone. Runners at first and third. And that's going to bring in Dominic Zingardi.
Yeah, that was just too much speed for the double play to get turned. It's a hard ground ball, and once that ball hits the infield carpet, it picks up a little extra zip, but Ganchow showing he's got the wheels. Beat that one out by a step and a half.
So Dominic Zingardi was the one that brought in David Harris back in the first with an RBI single. So the first pitch is for a ball. 1-1 the count. You got 2 gone. Runners at first and second. Just want to get the final out. That one misses. Did not get that call there. So it is 1-1 the count. to Zengardi. Even though no runs have scored yet in this frame, or in this part of the frame, it's been feeling really long.
Yeah, the tempo of this one has really slowed down a little bit.
Check swing by Zengardi. Umpire at second says no. So now it'll be 2-1 the count. Like you said, the pace right now has been a little slow. I don't know if that was by the choice of McLean or just how the game is going. So the 2-0 ball misses, so now it's 3-1.
And a lot of these calls that are going against McLean, they seem to be just missing.
They are. It's been pretty close for him. He's just not getting those. So that one's in the dirt, and Dominic Zengardi gets on base via a walk. So the bases are all American, and that's going to bring up the catcher, Nick Past. And Nick Past went down looking at the third strike, so he is 0 for 1. Runners on every base.
McLean would like another strikeout here to end the threat.
That one catches the zone for a strike. It is 0-1 the count.
And this is a really eye-opening challenge here at this point. This is the point of the game where the Skunks have let large leads dwindle in these situations.
That one in there for a strike, and so now it is 0-2 the count.
And McLean looks like he's not having any of that. He wants to shut this thing down in a hurry.
Bauer at third. Ganchow at second. And Zengardi at first. Passed at the plate. That one misses. Good job by Lindquist being able to haul that ball in. So it's 1-2 the count. And like you said, Tarp Skunks have been letting leads dwindle. And like you said, McLean doesn't want that to happen. But a strikeout here can get him out of the inning here.
Yeah, it's pretty much in his hands here.
And that one just missed for a ball. 2-2 the count.
Man, you have to have ice water in your veins to take something that close.
You know, McLean hasn't been missing that much. Some of those balls have been very close. So 2-2 for McLean. Want to get out of this inning. Fouled at the plate.
In and out of the glove of Lindquist, unable to hold on to it. Otherwise, Pats and the rest of the Americans, well, Pats would have been going to the dugout to get his gear on while his teammates took the field.
It is true.
That's always the roughest part too as a catcher. I don't know what's worse, being a catcher and making the third out of an inning, or being the catcher on deck
with 2 outs.
With 2 outs, yeah.
A swing and a miss by Nick Past, and that'll do it for the Americans. They go down with runners, with the bases loaded. We go to the top of the fourth. It is still 10-1.
Oh, come on.
And welcome back here. 10-1. Tarp Skunks are up. We go to the top of the fourth. It'll be CJ Dugan, Caleb Jordan, and Branston Lindquist, the three. And Canuel still on the mound for the Niagara Falls Americans.
Yeah, you have to wonder how. No, this is a different pitcher. It's
Is
a
it?
left-hander, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. There was action in the bullpen.
Trying to get a number
Now,
on him.
vote for the Americans. Number 8, Dominic Zangardi.
Oh, Dominic Zangardi, who was the designated hitter, now is going to be the pitcher. I wonder if they have to make a change or if he is going to hit and pitch here.
Can they do that? I haven't seen a situation like this in this league.
Yeah, I mean, it's a rarity. I haven't seen it myself. For Zangardi, he has no pitcher record. So he coming in completely clean. Let's see how he does against the middle bottom of the Tarp Skunks order, 6, 7, 8.
That's going to be tough. That could be tough for the Tarp Skunks, having no scouting report on him. And that one is a ground ball to second. Gladfelter on the first, and CJ Dugan is quickly retired.
Yeah, one pitch, one away. Not the scouting report that the Skunks would have liked out of Dugan, but being aggressive and putting the ball in play. First pitch.
That's going to bring up Caleb Jordan, the second baseman.
I don't necessarily hate the first pitch swing on that one.
That one misses.
Number 39.
You know, I'm looking at Zangardi pitch. When he plants his leg before the throw, it's very delayed. That one misses.
If there's one thing that it does not do for him very well, and that's hide the baseball. You can almost see the grip coming out of his hands here.
Check swing did not go around. So that'll be ball number 2. That one misses. No, that was ball 3. So this is ball 4. So Caleb Jordan gets on base. And that's going to bring in Branston Lindquist.
And the PA announcer here is 2 batters behind. He says Caleb Jordan now batting. He's going off of old information, too, because he's using number 25. It's actually number 45. And this could actually be somewhat controversial because this could open the door to a challenge for the Niagara Falls Americans if they want to say that the Skunks batted out of order. However, we can verify they have not.
No, yeah, they have not been keeping score. Caleb Jordan on the run. He's in there safely at second. So Caleb Jordan gets a steal.
And there they go. Now they make the correction. As it is indeed Branston Lindquist.
Branston Lindquist going with the dinosaur tape.
Dinosaur tape.
Oh, because back in Geneva, he had tape that had dinosaurs on it. So I'm pretty sure that's the same type of tape he has on right now.
I was going to ask, how did I miss that? But then I realized I wasn't in Geneva.
That one up for a ball. So it is 1-1. On the steal, that was on the steal, it was a strike. So that's why it's 1-1 the count.
Yeah, I just kept hitting the wrong buttons on the scoreboard.
That one, ground ball to Roel. Roel throws on the first in the dirt. He gets Lindquist out. But Caleb Jordan advances to third, and so now the Tarp Skunks have a runner 90 feet away from home plate. That's going to bring up Tito Kiefer.
And that is some aggressive base running on the part of Caleb Jordan. You hardly ever see that with a runner at second, a ball hit to the left side of the infield. Once the ball was thrown, Jordan took off.
And that one in there for a strike.
Made it to third, and You know, that's not a play you normally see. That's just some heads up base running aggression on the part of Jordan.
It's actually a really good play, making him think he was going back to second. And one goes fouled and out of play. So now Tito Kiefer finds himself quickly behind in the count 0-2.
And I think he advanced on that because of the throw that Raul made. It was in the carpet, the little one hopper into first base, which slowed it down and gave him the time.
That one misses for a ball. 1-2 to Tito Kiefer. If you're the Tarp Skunks, you want to keep this momentum going. 3 straight innings with runs. Check swing did not go around, says the second base umpire. So it is 2-2 the count to Kiefer. Kiefer has 2 singles in the game. He also came around to score once. That one up high for a ball, and he was able to work himself into a full count now.
And the ever dangerous Matthew Dumas on deck.
And that's a ground ball to first, and it gets past him. So Tito Kiefer gets on base. Caleb Jordan comes across the plate to score. It is 11-1. They're going to give Weiss the error there, as that is an E3.
Yeah, I agree with that air call. I do, because that ball came up to him. It should have been an easy play for him, but just somehow maybe it was a little bit too fast coming up off the carpet and couldn't react to it. But run scores.
And Matthew Dumas lays down the bunt. He's on his horse to first. No throw. And so now runners at first and second. That was a good bunt.
That was absolutely perfect.
That was a great spot. And the speed of Dumas, he was on his horse. So that will be the second single for Dumas. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the lineup for a 4th time. And that's Grant Moore. He watches the first pitch for a strike. 0-1.
You know, if there is a way to steal first base, I think Matthew Dumas would figure that out. That was probably the closest to stealing first base you'll ever see.
Well, we see Matthew Dumas and Kiefer on the base path again.
Well,
check swing by Grant Moore did not go around. It is ball 1.
Well, when you find a place you like, why leave?
That is true. So Grant Moore with an even count. Kiefer at second. Dumas at first. 2 gone. That one just misses. 2-1 to Grant Moore.
Did you just say 2 gone?
2 gone.
Oh, I thought you said 2 gone, because that would have been, hey, we're adding baseball to go. I like that.
I think I said it so fast. That one popped up high in the air. Salcedo's going to make the catch, and that will retire the side. But the Tarp Skunks add on 1 hit, 2 left on. We go to the bottom of the 4th. It is 11-1.
Bottom of the fourth inning here at Sal Maglie Stadium. Tarp Skunks with the 11-1 lead. It will be the 6, 7, 8 place hitter, Gasmondi, Salcedo, and Weiss. And once again, it's Jalen Ferguson.
Well, thank you very much, Dre Guinness. As Derek Gismondi, as he walked in his last at bat, so he does not have a recorded at bat. Zach McLean here to start his fourth inning of work here today. The first pitch fouled off behind the plate.
Zach McLean, the pitcher that apparently the other Tarp Skunks call Big Precious.
At least that's what I heard. When I was in the dugout, he was pitching against Newark. That's what they were calling him. This one is in the carpet for a ball. 1-1.
So now we got a homework assignment. We got to figure out where that came from. Who came up with it? Why? All that good stuff.
I don't even think that is his actual nickname. But I think they just call him that. That one just misses for a ball. 2-1.
Well, Zach, if you watch this game back and you wonder where that came from, it didn't come from us. This is information that was relayed to us. So,
well, maybe he can address some things one day. As a 2-1 fouled, and so now it is an even count at 2.
And then again, maybe some things are better left unaddressed.
That is true. I don't think Zach McLean would actually address it. I think he just wants to come out and pitch.
Yeah.
So 2-2 to Derek Gismondi. That one misses, and so now it is a full count, 3-2.
No, and Gasmondi wanted that one. He wanted to swing, but recognized at the last moment that it was too high out of the zone and was able to hold up, but he was ready to take that hack.
That one was at the letters. So full count now. Don't want to lose him here. And that one struck him out. Gismondi just standing there. And so, one away for the Tarp Skunks. So that's going to bring in Miguel Salcedo, the shortstop. And he struck out in his last at bat.
5 strikeouts for Zach McLean so far here tonight. He's been cruising on a Tuesday evening in Niagara Falls.
And that one in there for a strike. So 0-1 the count. You know, despite the amount of runs that have scored, this game has been going on pretty fast. Ground ball to Caleb Jordan. Throws on to Muncie. And quickly 2 away for the Americans. And that's going to bring in Adam Weiss, the first baseman.
Second in for the Americans, from Portland, New York, number 10, Evan Shank.
Oh, they took him out of the game? Oh, they took out Adam Weiss. So this is Evan Shank. So apparently they made a substitution. Evan Shank.
I think that's the result of the designated hitter moving into the pitching position.
So Evan Shank is going to take the spot of Adam Weiss as the first pitch called strike.
And once again, I'm going to have to ask you not to stand up against the fence. Again, I just don't want anybody to get hurt. So we appreciate your cooperation and not standing up against the fence.
Yeah, don't do that.
That one fouled. That's part of the reason why, because you don't want foul balls.
Well, I mean, you know, Major League Baseball put the nets up in that section of the field. I'm beginning to wonder, you know, when is that going to trickle down to, you know, even these leagues?
That one fouled Once again, Evan Shank fighting.
I think in even some minor league ballparks, they put netting to protect just that initial seating area that wraps around the first and third base lines.
That is true, because back at home, the Gary South Shore Railcats increased their netting. And swinging a miss by Evan Shank. So 1-2-3 goes the Americans. It is still 11-1. And welcome back here to Sal Maglie Stadium. Tarp Skunks are up by 10. It is 11-1 ball game. Zangardi finally starting his second inning of work. He will face Eric Weeks, Heath Fetchick, and the first baseman Nate Muncie. But to lead it off, it's Eric Weeks.
Yeah, and the Skunks just cruising along here in Niagara Falls. Definitely the kind of outing they really wanted. I don't think necessarily, I think needed, but more wanted than anything to put out here tonight.
So first pitch fouled into the carpet.
Get you caught up on some scores around the rest of the PGCBL in a moment.
That one misses. Every time the ball hits the dirt, I want to call it the dirt, but it's not dirt. It's carpet.
That's right.
So 1-1. Off speed. Eric Weeks fouls that one behind the plate.
Batavia leading Auburn 4-2. That one in the top of the fifth at Falcon Park in Auburn. The Niagara Ironbacks with a 5-1 lead at home over the Newark Pilots. That one's in the top of the fifth inning. And Geneva and Elmira, no score, top of the first inning. I have a feeling that one might have been delayed. Hasn't been updated yet.
Because that one fouled by Eric Weeks, and so now we're going to do the 1-2 again.
You know, this whole carpet thing, you could parlay this into a successful career as a carpet salesman.
The off-speed misses for a ball, 2-2.
You know, this weave right here would go great in your living room or to patch up behind first base in your backyard.
Yes, or if you want an indoor football field.
Oh, there you go.
As that one misses, and Eric Weeks able to find himself back into a full count here.
See, that would work definitely in the wintertime, you know, when the Buffalo area gets buried under 8,000 feet of snow.
That one line drive to left field. And that one's gone! Eric Weeks launching that one out of the park. It is 12-1 Tarp Skunks.
Well, it was only a matter of time before Eric Weeks flexed the muscle, and he does it here. And wow, that one carried, and just finally went out here. The breeze in the outfield has completely died down to allow that ball to get over the fence.
And I'm glad I was doing color when I get a home run. So 12-1 Tarp Skunks after the home run. And that's going to bring in Heath Fetchick.
Yeah. Congratulations. You got your first.
You got both Paul Delanto home runs. I get the Eric Weeks one.
And I also got the Grant Moore inside the park, too.
That is true. That one in the carpet for a ball. 1-1.
Well, you know what they say, you never forget your first.
And of course, the Blake Herman inside the park home run that we were not recording,
No.
but I saw firsthand.
Yeah, that don't count. Play-by-play caller, it didn't happen.
2-1 the count after the ball was in the carpet. Tarp Skunks up 12. 12 runs on 12 hits, no errors. That one flew out to right, but it will be Gladfelter to make the catch, and so Heath Fetchick is down, and that's going to bring in Nate Muncie.
For Muncie, he's walked, scored a run back in the first, grounded out the second, and singled in 2 runs back in the 3rd inning. Missed the 4th inning by just that much.
That one misses. So it is 1-0 the count.
This is going to be an interesting game to cut highlights of. Oh, well, excuse you. Bird coming in and buzzing our mic.
2-1 or 2-0. I think the Bird wants to get in some of this play-by-play action.
Sorry, internships for this year's season is closed.
That one catches the zone for a strike. 2-1 the count.
That one looked more like a gift than anything.
I did. That one fouled over us.
Well, you were asking.
I mean, like you said, the odds of that happening has gone up at least 30%.
Yeah, if that ball had been about 10 feet lower, that would have been coming right at my dome piece.
That one just missed. And so now it is a full count to Muncie.
I think I'm going to start wearing a batting helmet up here. Every booth we go, even at home.
No, wear a umpire's mask. And struck out Muncie looking.
Might need one of those too.
And so, 2 gone after the strikeout, and that's going to bring in Paul Delanto. And we talk about home runs. You caught 2 of his.
You have a feeling that Touch 'em All Paul might make himself an appearance here.
Hopefully. I want him to look at me. So 0-0 to Paul Delanto, and that one just missed for a ball.
See, I don't think they don't know what innings we call.
I think it's good to tell them, but then again, we don't really plan those.
Yeah, I don't even know what innings we're gonna call until about 5 minutes before the games. All right, what are we doing?
So that one is in the carpet for a ball, 2-0.
Today we decided that I was gonna take 1, 2, and then give you 3 through 7, and then I was gonna take 8, 9.
I mean, we might as well.
It's starting to look like we might not make it to 8, 9.
That one fouled at the plate, so it is 2-1. I mean, like I said during the break, I mean, if it goes to that, I pretty much just took your game.
Hey, it works. It's not my game. We're a team up here.
That is true.
So, if you close it out, you close it out. I'll still go home in time and be home in time for cornflakes.
They're going to say in time for a Coke and a smile.
No, that's on the ride home. Pick that up at that rest stop on I-90.
So that one misses for a ball, 3-1.
Still haven't used one of those service stops on I-90. I did when I drove through Indiana and Ohio.
As that one driven out to no man's land, but Gladfelter makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Tarp Skunks. Not before Eric Weeks home run to start the 4th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 12-1.
New pitcher for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks is going to be Logan Price as Zach McLean's day is done. He will face 9-10-1. It will be Raoul Bauer and top of the order for Gladfelter. And once again, it's Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you very much, Dre. As, yeah, like you said, I mean, Zach McLean's day is done. I thought he was going to be, they're just going to give him the win here, but apparently he's not going to get the win. So the first pitch for Logan Price is a ball. 1-0 to Cooper Rowell.
Bit of a surprise. Bit of a surprise.
It's that one in there for a strike. So 1-1 the count to Cooper Rowell. That one, swing and a miss by Rowell, and so now it is 1-2. Logan Price is showing that speed. That one popped up foul. And all those seagulls scattering.
You could call it a flock of seagulls. And they ran. They ran so far away.
As they are coming back to where they were. So that's fouled in the same exact spot.
So Logan Price comes in. This is his fourth appearance. 18 ERA, 2 innings pitched, 3 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and a strikeout. Looking to try to change his fortunes here in the middle portion of the season.
It's that one.
And Raoul, this is a pinch hitter. It's Thomas Marcotte.
Oh,
Marcotte.
Okay.
Okay, then.
Well, then Marcotte swings and misses, and he goes down on strikes. So quickly 1 away for the Tarp Skunks. Man, they've been making a lot of substitutions here.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to figure out at this point, use the time to figure out maybe some pieces that they haven't used or are just showing up for the first time and see what they've got.
So Jackson Bauer, that one, blooper out to Weeks. Weeks throws on the first. That one is over the head of Muncie. CJ Dugan coming in, throws back into the infield, and so that's going to be at E5 on Weeks.
Not sure what happened on that one. Not sure at all, but just it
just wasn't a good play. It just wasn't a good throw.
Slipped out of his hands before he got to his release point.
So as we go back to the top of the lineup, it is Justin Gladfelter.
And this is very important for Logan Price too, especially for someone who's only had a couple innings. He's been roughed up a little bit in his two innings. This is a good test for him to watch him figure out and how to get out of something like this.
That one misses for a ball.
Gladfelter 0 for 2 on the day, is grounded out to second and has flown out to right field.
Like you said about getting out of jams like this, here's the thing, though. Middle relief has been struggling. That one gets past Lindquist, and so Justin Bauer is going to move 90 feet away from home plate.
I wouldn't say blanketly that middle relief is struggling. There's been a few guys that haven't been used as much in game situations, and it's going to take them a little bit to figure it out. Case in point, one Logan Price, Reno Spagnoli the other night.
That one is in there for a strike, 2-1.
Actually had a pretty good outing.
He did actually, yeah.
So it's all coming together.
That one popped up, fouled, out of play. And so the count is even, 2-2. Americans with 1 run on 3 hits and 3 errors. Tarp Skunks with 12 runs on 12 hits and 1 error. Here in the bottom of the 4th.
That one called strike 3.
And that one's strike 3. So Gladfelter is sat down. That's going to bring in David Harris. David Harris, he walked in his last at-bat.
7th American to go down on strikes here today. 5 by McLean, 2 by Logan Price here.
That one in there for a strike. So it is 0-1 the count.
And this is definitely a different look than we have seen from Price. And after this, he's definitely earned himself another inning.
So that one also catches the zone for a strike. It is a 0-2 the count.
And the only action in the Tarp Skunks bullpen is a football game. The only action in the Tarp Skunks football is a bullpen game.
0-2. That one driven out to left field and out of play. So we're going to do 0-2 all over again for David Harris.
So we have reached the point in the ball game where things start to get a little loopy.
Oh, I've been loopy all day.
It's tough coming back from 3 days off.
That is true.
That
one inside for a ball.
The Skunks on the field, they're not showing it. We're definitely showing it a little bit up here.
That's true, but that's also my fault for not practicing as much as I should. So 1-2 to David Harris, fouled behind the plate, and we're going to do 1-2 again. And David Harris, 1 for 1. It's also the reason why the Americans have 1 runs, as he came around to score.
And Zach McLean today, 4 innings pitched.
That one inside for a ball. It is 2-2 the count.
I'll give you his stats here. 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 3 walks, 6 strikeouts, 3 of those looking, and he did it on 79 pitches.
So Logan Price trying to get out of this inning with 1 left on. That one fouled again.
And that would explain why McLean's day is done a little early. And I got to stay. Just sitting here watching, that did not look like 79 pitches. It didn't feel like 79 pitches.
It really didn't, actually. What would you say? Well, do you think that was a little lower or higher?
The amount of pitches that I thought he threw?
Is that one ground ball fouled down third base side?
I thought he was at least 15 pitches under. I thought he was sitting around the 60-65 mark.
I mean, 65 in the 4th, that's not too bad. Or actually, no, that's not bad at all. He's throwing a minimum of pitches, putting up 3 zeros. That one sounded like a cannon, but it is 3-2 now. And Logan Price does not want to lose David Harris, but David Harris has been fighting, refusing to go down. That one, ooh, just over our press box.
Waiter, check, please.
I'll look over to your side. Your side does not have the window closed either. So
No, and as a matter of fact, with the ankle that's coming in, if that ball comes in the window, it's coming right at me.
actually, yeah, that is true. And that's another foul ball by David Harris. This at bat, I want to say this is 10 pitches in. Actually,
At least 8.
I'd say it's probably more than 8. I saw 1-2 twice, 2-2 twice. Seeing another full count for a 3rd time.
It's a good battle.
That one line drive again, fouled just in front of us.
Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. That occurred close to us. You can hear the activity happening underneath us. I should probably turn that mic down a little bit.
Yeah. So 3-2 once again. I had to ask the other interns how many pitches this was. A swing and a miss. Logan Price finally wins the battle, and that'll do it for the Americans. So one left on. We go to the top of the 5th. It is still 12-1.
As we're back here at Sal Maglie Stadium, 12-1 Tarp Skunks holding on to the lead as they will send up CJ Dugan. Oh, wait a minute, let me make sure I got this right. Yeah, CJ Dugan, Caleb Jordan, Branston Lindquist. And it looks like continuing on the mound is Dominic Zangardi. No.
Zangardi was number 3.
Yeah, I forgot. Who's this? Same pitcher.
Yeah, it's still Zangardi.
Okay. No.
No?
I got the name wrong. No, it is Zangardi. Okay. That's right.
As the first pitch fouled at the plate by CJ Dugan.
Dugan on the day, the only one that hasn't joined the hit parade, hit by pitch, and then a couple of outs.
That one misses for a ball.
I'll make it only a couple of Tarp Skunks that haven't hit the hit parade yet.
So 1-1 the counts. That one misses, so now it's 2-1.
I think Dugan would take a walk here. I'd be happy with that.
You gotta remember, CJ Dugan can steal too. That one line drive, that one's fair. That one gets over Roel. Dugan on his way to second, and he is going to park at second. So a leadoff double to start off the top of the 5th.
Oh, there you go. That's the kind of hitting that we've seen out of Dugan in batting practice, and it seems like, we were talking earlier, even as early as last week, that there had been a number of players middle of the order that, still sitting around the 200, a couple under, a couple over, and now they're really starting to turn it up here.
So that's going to bring in Caleb Jordan. That one is up high for a ball. 1-0 the count. And Caleb Jordan grounded out to shorts. Had an RBI double and a walk, steal, and came around to score.
Yes, those clouds are really starting to take over the sky here. The lights are not been turned on yet.
That one misses again for a ball. 2-0.
And you can smell a little rain in the air.
Just a little bit. I don't see... The last time we were here, those were clearly storm clouds. I just think that these are just going to...
These are the precursor to the storm clouds that'll be here in about 2 hours.
That one misses for a ball. 3-0. Well, hopefully by that time, this game should be long over.
Well, I didn't want to throw it out there. But should Dugan score, we are in mercy territory. 12 after 6, 10 after 7.
That one misses, and so Caleb Jordan gets his second straight walk. And passed, coming up to Zangardi for a talk, but that's going to bring in Branston Lindquist.
As Branston, the only other skunk that hadn't joined the hit parade, so this might be his inning.
He has gotten on base, though. He did draw a walk back in the 3rd inning. And this really tells you a lot because this is the 5th at bat in the 5th inning for him.
This is only his 4th at bat.
Maybe I might be a century ahead.
Well, I mean, again, we had the issue with the public address announcer being behind. We had the skip. We had a missing player in the starting lineup when we originally started. But yeah, now I got to go double check that. I gotta say too, the amount of spiders that are crawling around outside the windows and around the windows in here is a little disturbing.
They really have made this their home, to be honest.
Yeah.
We're just paying the rent here.
I ain't paying nothing. Jamestown Tarp Skunks will be back at Dietrich Park on Thursday as the Batavia Muck Dogs come into town. It is buyout night at the stadium, free admission, courtesy of Jamestown Community College. Make your plans to get out to the ballpark on Thursday.
And that one, ground ball to Roa, steps on third, throws on the first, double play by Roa, and so 2 gone after the ground ball. So that's going to bring up Tito Kiefer.
That's a tough break for the Skunks and Lindquist.
So Tito Kiefer here, runner in scoring position. That one is in the carpet for a ball. And they're finally turning on the lights now.
So Caleb Jordan is the runner at second.
2-0 the count to Tito Kiefer. And we can say Caleb Jordan second, but you got 1 out or 2 outs. So you would have to drive one into the gap if you want to bring him home.
Base hit could do that here.
That one in the zone for a strike. 2-1. That really woke him up. So 2-1 to Tito Kiefer. That one misses. 3-1. Matthew Dumas on deck.
You think Dumas would bunt again?
I mean, but the thing is, though, depending on where he would, they could probably get Caleb Jordan out at third, since that would be a force. That one, ground ball to shortstop, throws on to first in time, and so the Americans get out of the inning. The Tarp Skunks leave 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 12-1 here in Sal Maglie Stadium. All right, and welcome back as they are playing the God Bless America song before the bottom of the fifth, or bottom of the sixth here.
And once again, on behalf of all of us here.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool tradition that they've got out here. Between the top and bottom of the sixth inning, they honor veterans, current and former veterans, have them stand up, be recognized and acknowledged, and then they do God Bless America. That is a really cool tradition that they have at this ballpark.
And it actually makes sense. I mean, the Niagara Falls Americans, it makes sense.
Full patriotism on display. As we do go to the bottom of the sixth inning, it's going to be 3-4-5 due up for the Americans. That's Gancho, Zangardi's spot, and Nick passed. We'll see if Zangardi is actually going to get the at-bat. We will answer the burning question that you had earlier.
Actually, yeah. I hadn't thought about that, but now is getting to that point, so... Is Zangardi going to bat? Are they going to have a pinch hitter? But if you have a pinch hitter for Zangardi, wouldn't that mean that you will have to put in a new pitcher? I'm not too sure.
You know what? Someone put in a call to Neil deGrasse Tyson.
So leading off for the Americans is Ganschow, and that is a ground ball through the infield. And Matt Ganschow leads it off with a single on the first pitch, and so that's going to bring in. Yep, Dominic Zangardi is going to hit. That answers my question.
That is their first hit since the third inning.
That's amazing, actually. Amazing by the Tarp Skunks pitching, being able to avoid that, as Lindquist had to dive for that one inside for a ball.
Logan Price had a crisp inning back in the bottom of the fifth. I'd like to repeat that here. The only blemish was an error.
That one ground ball. Muncie makes a diving effort, cannot get to it. So Zangardi throw to third, not in time. So Ganschow is at third safely. So runners at first and third. That's going to bring in the catcher, Nick Past. You know, C.J. Dugan trusted his arm, making the throw all the way to third. Was not in time. You saw how Zangardi was trying to go to second, but then once the ball came in, he stopped at first.
Dugan had a cannon out there.
That one in the carpet for a ball. Want to know?
Got that all the way from, I want to say about 30 feet away from the foul line and hit Weeks in the glove on the fly.
That one in the zone for a strike. 1-1.
You know, there is a temptation for some pitchers. Not saying that it's happening here, but there is some temptation that, you know, when you're throwing strikes, you have a good inning, you come out the next inning and they're on top of them. That can make you want to go from challenging to start dancing around the plate.
It's a swing and a miss by Past. So now it is 1-2.
And we're not seeing that here from Logan. He's going right after him.
And that one hits him on the elbow guard. And so now the bases are all American. So that one's going to bring up Derek Gesmondi.
And now there's a little trouble brewing here.
You know, this is the type of stuff that we've been talking about. These bases loaded situations when you have a lead like this. Like I said, no lead is safe in this league. So that one is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Logan Price. So Ganschow at third, Gesmondi at second, second pitch for a ball, 2-0. Ganschow at third, Zangardi at second, and Past at first. And that one just missed for a ball, 3-0. And a walk here would bring in a run.
Definitely not the start of the inning that Price wanted.
That one catches the zone. Got to have it. So now it's 3-1. And Logan Price is going to have to fight back in this one. That one swings and misses by Gismondi.
Yeah, that's good back at you right there. Going 3-0, bases loaded, working it back to 3-2.
So full count now. Fouled.
The problem here is Gismondi has Price timed. So Price is going to have to figure out some way to get the ball past him in the zone.
He's thrown that heater before, and it is zipped. That one fouled and over the press box where we are. So we're going to do 3-2 all over again.
And I can feel about 7 or 8 more gray hairs developing after that one.
I do know that if it hits this window, my lifespan will decrease by a couple of years. That one is in the carpet for a ball. So Ganchow is going to come in and score. That's going to make this a 12-2 ball game. And there is a meeting at the mound. Joe Riedebach coming out.
Yep, I was wondering if that was going to happen. And I think it's necessary. I think the game, the fun and games in the bullpen may be over. At this point, it's only 1 run at this point, nobody out. But you don't want to let them build momentum. You don't want to take them out of the rhythm. And you have to get someone warmed up and ready for a just-in-case scenario. Because what was an 11-run lead could quickly evaporate to like 3 or 4 in just the space of a couple of base hits. So you have to start building your reinforcements and getting them ready.
And again, we've seen that time and time again. We've seen that against Newark. We've seen that in our home ballpark. So they're going to need to get out of this.
Is our new pinch hitter? It's Anthony Savino.
That one misses for a ball.
See if I can find any info on Savino here.
Savino in his last game, when he watches this one for a ball 2-0. In his last game against the Pilots, he was 0 for 3 with a RBI sac fly.
And it comes in hitting 161.
That one popped up fouled and out of play. Well, 2-1 the count. Full bases are full and no outs. And that one in there for a strike. Savino backed away, but then that ball catched the zone. So the count is even at 2. That one popped up fouled. So we're going to do 2-2 all over again. That one up for a ball, 3-2. Again, this is Logan Price being ahead and then being in a full count situation. That one driven out to center field. Grant Moore ranging back, makes the catch. Both runners at second and third tag. That's going to bring in Zengardi and passed up to third. So that will be a sac fly for Savino as the score is now 12-3. And that's going to bring in Evan Shank.
Yeah, Gismondi holding at first, though, keeping the double play alive.
out there. Can't give us a break, eh? Center field.
Evan Shank struck out in his last at bat.
What were you saying about the ball? Yeah.
That one in there for a strike. So 0-1 to Evan Shank.
And that was a bit of a gift on that call.
What, 20, 22 ounce, something like that. $9.
That one outside for a ball, 1-1.
Let's get you caught up on a few scores around the PGCBL. The Auburn Doubledays take a 7-4 lead over the Batavia Mugdogs. That's at the top of the 7th inning. Niagara Ironbacks 9-3 over the Newark Pilots, top of the 7th, north of the border.
A ground ball to short, throw on the first, and they got the double play, and that'll do it. So 2 left on, 1 run comes across the score, or 2 runs come across the score. It is 12-3, Tarp Skunks. Welcome back here to Sal Maglie Stadium. Tarp Skunks up 12-3, as it'll be I think it'll be Dumas and then Top and Eric Weeks for the 3.
Dumas, more Weeks. Weeks already has a home run here. Oh, we have a new pitcher for the Niagara Falls Americans. Let me see if I can get you the information on that quicker than I should. Let's see. It hasn't been announced. It looks like number 41. Let's see who that is on the roster. It's going to be Porter Slattery.
Slattery?
Slattery, yeah.
Slattery?
Slattery.
S-A.
Making his 8th appearance on the season, 4.76 ERA, 11 and a third innings pitched. He's given up 11 hits, 10 runs, only 6 of those earned. He's walked 12 and struck out 10. Hitters hitting 268 against him. And Matthew Dumas set to lead off the top of the 7th. And here is Jalen Ferguson.
Thank you very much. As Dumas watches one that catches the zone for a strike. So only one to count to Dumas. You know, we're having a hard time trying to keep up with the game. I mean, the Americans have been doing substitutions a lot. So that one catches the zone. At least I'm having trouble. I don't know. I can't speak for Dre.
I'm doing all right.
It's been a lot of substitutions for the Americans. So 0-2 to Matthew Dumas. Swing and a miss. Or no, he fouled that.
No. Yeah, so the only starter for the Americans out in the infield is Gladfelter at second. It's now Marcotte at third, Savino at short, and Shank at first.
So Shank is going to take the place of Rice. Right. A swing and a miss by Dumas, and that one will bring him down on strikes. And so it is one away for the Tarp Skunks, and we roll it back up to the top of the lineup. It is Grant Moore.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic for Dumas to strike out.
So Grant Moore got a couple of walks. He singled, and he popped up to shorts. The line drive out to left field, and that one is fouled.
Oof. Just fouled by about 3 feet.
It's pretty close. You know, a lot of these at bats, rarely you're gonna see Grant Moore start the count ahead. Well, that just tells you that he comes into the box ready to swing.
Hey, he doesn't get paid to stand there and take pitches. He gets paid to swing the bat and try to drive in some runs or at least set the table in this situation.
That's true. He is the leadoff hitter. So 0-1 to Grant Moore. That one into the carpet for a ball. 1-1.
Wondering if when a ball hits that carpet, if it gets a little carpet burn. That's never fun.
Oh no, carpet burn is never fun. That one in there for a strike. 1-2 the count to Grant Moore.
If you had your choice, you had to take one or the other. You can't abstain from this choice. Would you rather have carpet burn or a paper cut?
Ooh. I'd rather have a paper cut, to be honest. A swing and a miss by Grant Moore. And the second one sat down for a strike. So it is 2 gone. And that's going to bring in Eric Weeks.
It's the kind of strange thing you think of when you're sitting on a 9-run lead in the top of the 7th.
That is true. Eric Weeks, he home runned in his last at bat. And it was a surprise to me. I didn't know if that ball was going to carry enough to get over the fence, and it did. So that one watches the first one in the carpet for a ball. 1-0.
Yeah, the breeze kicking up a little bit here. Not a lot, but definitely blowing in toward right.
That one catches the zone. 1-1 the count. Niagara Falls is right by the water, so it is understandable. So 1-1 to Eric Weeks. And that one misses for a ball. 2-1.
That might be the understatement of the decade. Niagara Falls is near the water.
It is on the water, actually. Actually, it is the water.
You are the water.
That one hits Weeks in the leg, and so he's going to advance via hit by pitch.
Well, that's a painful way to keep the inning alive.
That is true. As Heath Fetchick will be up next, or he's at the plate.
Yeah, Fetchick, 1 for 3 on the day. 1 for 4.
And that one driven out to right field. Bauer on his horse and makes the catch on the foul line. And that'll do it for the Tarp Skunks. 1 left on. We go to the bottom of the 7th. It is 12-3 here in Sal Maglie Stadium.
Back here at Sal Maglie Stadium in Niagara Falls. It is the Tarp Skunks with a 12-3 lead over the Americans as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Marcotte Bauer and back to the top of the order for Gladfelter. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen, by popular demand. It's Jalen Ferguson.
That's right. One last inning, or one last half, and then the game is all yours. It is all yours.
Just what I always wanted. You know how to shop for me so well.
That looks like Tino Masson on the mound, actually.
And it is Tino Masson, who, if you were paying attention to the commercial roll this past half inning, leads the league with 4 wins on the season. So Masson getting the call. He will do the 7th, probably 8th, 9th. He might be in line for a 3-inning save if it comes down to that.
So hopefully he can make this outing very quickly. That one misses for a ball, 1-0.
You know, and you look at Logan Price's body of work, those 2 innings, not bad. Not bad.
Only giving up 2. That one, line drive, fouled. So 1-1 to Thomas Marcotte.
For Logan Price, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 1 walk, but 3 strikeouts. That would definitely be what I would consider solid. And I guess we have a herd of buffalo down on the bleachers below us.
That one popped up. And giving chase is Lindquist. And he cannot come up with it, so it'll be 2-2 the count. A lot of movement below this this press box.
Kind of like this press box.
It's really good.
Not gonna lie.
2-2 into the carpet, and so now it is 3-2.
I mean, selfishly, if we could do something like this at Dietrich, I would be a happy person. But I mean, that's not something that I would ever lobby for, just because,
And struck him out. That one is in there. So Thomas Marcotte sat down on strikes, and that's going to bring in Jackson Bauer.
That is the 2nd strikeout for Marcotte, 3rd strikeout for the 9th position in this game, as Raul struck out once before he was lifted for Marcotte back in the 5th inning. Or make that 6th inning. 5th. No, it was right the first time.
That one misses outside for a ball.
But yeah, no, I would never lobby for anything like that, just because the space there is functional. It's actually pretty comfortable, and I like our spot.
That one in the carpet for a ball too. Oh, and yeah, I do. I mean, technically, we do have our own space. I mean, we have 2 doors that separate us from the other sides.
Yeah, we actually have our own rooms.
That one in there for a strike.
Yeah, that was a little gamesmanship on the part of Bauer, trying to spin out of the way to buy ball 3, but that one definitely struck the zone.
So that one misses. 3-1 the count to Justin Bauer. The Americans, 3 runs on 5 hits and 3 errors for them today. That one outside for a ball, and Tino Masson walks Bauer, and so we go back up to the top of the lineup. It is Justin Gladfelter.
For Gladfelter, 0 for 3, struck out looking his last time up. And a quick 6-4-3 double play would be very nice right here.
I mean, they were able to pull that double play in the last inning. That one in there for a strike. 0-1.
Masson just churning out strikes.
I'm looking at the dugout. They turned on the lights in there too. Snap for the first, not in time.
We're going to operate in the dark, I think, because I don't think either of us have the willpower to get up to turn on the lights.
No, not right now. Runner goes. That one's a ball. Throw on to second, and he's safe. So Jackson Bauer gets himself a stolen base.
One of the few that have actually beaten Lindquist, because Lindquist is a gunslinger behind that plate.
But yeah, Lindquist is. Heath Fetchick.
I think that was more stolen on Tino than Lindquist.
That one popped up, fouled out of play. So Justin Gladfelter is behind in the count 1-2 with 1 out. But he has Jackson Bauer up at second.
Still haven't gotten any word as when the Elmira doubleheader that got rained out is going to be made up. It should be, because it was well before the threshold of when it can't.
Justin Gladfelter turned his back for the inside pitch. 2-2.
And those are important ball games, because those will not only have an effect on what Elmira's postseason outlook looks like, but also the Tarp Skunks.
And that one misses. 3-2.
And you can see a little disgust with Lindquist on that one. Well, maybe not disgust, but frustration.
So now Tina Masson has worked himself into a full count. You don't want another base runner. That one just missed.
You got to be kidding me.
So Justin Gladfelter goes to first on the walk.
I've got to say, the inconsistency on those calls at the bottom of the strike zone has been beyond frustrating. Not only for the Americans pitchers, not only for the Tarp Skunks pitchers, but for the hitters as well, because they don't know whether they need to defend that part of the zone or if they could just let it go.
Yeah, it's been very inconsistent, but it's really frustrating for the Tarp Skunks because those calls have been making the bases filled. That one is a ball. 1-0 the count to David Harris, who is up at the plate right now.
I mean, if Lindquist could frame that any better, he could open up a framing shop in the mall.
That one fouled at home plate.
He has been doing a phenomenal job receiving and framing it right where it should be.
Receiving, framing, blocking the ball. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think only a couple balls have gotten past him.
Yeah, those were extreme situations that may not have gotten past him if that was actually dirt. As that is a gorgeous sky out there.
It is.
Right now. Probably one of the coolest things you will ever see.
When the sky turns all those colors, it's amazing. Tina Masson looking back. That one popped up and out of play.
Yeah, that's the kind of sky that you see on Star Trek on an alien world.
So 1-2 the counts to David Harris. Bauer at second, Gladfelter at first. Harris, what a 1-2 count to him. And that one just missed. So now it is 2-2.
Niagara Falls, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the Jamestown Tarp Skunks, announced team.
Full count. Oh, man, that just missed. 3-2.
Oh. And again, this the level of inconsistency behind home plate tonight in that strike zone is getting to be a bit much.
That one fouled and off the helmet of Lindquist. Yeah, like you said, those inconsistent calls have been pretty much the last couple of games have been avoiding that, but now we're starting to see that again.
It almost makes me want to, like maybe at a practice or something, throw on some umpire gear and just see how difficult it is with these pitchers.
That one line drive, and that one is gonna touch down in front of Dumas. So every runner halts. So the bases are all American for the Americans. And that's gonna bring in Matthew Ganschow.
But that was one heck of a deke. Dumas sold completely that he had that ball, and it dropped in front of him, able to hold the runner at third without scoring. So that is high-level baseball IQ out there in left field from Dumas.
I think Dumas, he let that in front because part of him wanted to throw it to home. That one misses for a ball.
Well, the other part, too, is that you don't want to try to come in on a play and have that ball hit the carpet and skip past you.
That is true. Or the ball could jump over you, too. That one, line drive out in the right center field. Grant Moore makes the catch, but tagging is Bauer and Gladfelter throwing a third, and it gets past Eric Weeks. Throws on. No, he cannot make the play. And David Harris goes from first to third, so 2 runs come across. On the previous play, it'll be a sac fly. And I don't know what else you would call that.
A sacrifice fly and a 2-base error on the throw in.
So that's going to bring in Dominic Zengardi, the outfielder. That one in there for a strike.
So credit Ganschow with 1 RBI, the other run scoring on the air.
A line drive ground ball. Diving is Jordan, cannot come up with it. That is an RBI single for Dominic Zengardi. And Dre, I got to tell you, we're starting to see some of things from last week trickle down into this game, where you're up by a large margin and the other team being able to chew away at the lead. That's going to bring in Nick Pats.
They're showing a lot of fight. Can't take anything away from them. It's just a matter of managing and being able to settle down here. And again, it's a number of factors, some that are within the Skunks' control and some that are not.
So I want to know. That one just missed once again. 2-0.
And that's kind of what I was talking about. The factor that's not in the Skunks' control is the question marks behind the plate.
And that one misses again. 3-0. Yeah, I got to tell you, it's a lot of question marks behind the plate. I mean, the amount of balls that have been called that could have been strikes is mind-boggling. Snap throw to first, not in time. But from this angle here, from this angle, not used to how we are behind the plate, so I can't really say what his strike zone is. So that one is ball 4. So Nick Past goes into first, and that's going to bring in Derek Gazmondi.
And Lindquist is going to go out there and settle Masson down. Nick Pats comes back up to hit.
Oh, they just sent Delanto over there. And they just sent Delanto into the bullpen. So I think there is going to be some action in the bullpen soon. Because one of the coaches are also heading down over to the bullpen. So Derek Gismondi. That one just missed for a ball, 1-0.
Well, whether we want lights in the booth or not, we're not getting any.
And he tried flipping the switches. I don't even think there's power to this booth, to be honest.
Oh, I mean, well, there has to be because otherwise this gear wouldn't work.
That is true. That one misses for a ball, 2-0. That one in there for a strike. 2-1.
You know, the lights are just now starting to get to about full strength. I think part of the problem for behind the plate.
That one misses for a ball, 3-1.
Part of the problems behind the plate may be the fact that, you know, the lights got turned on about an inning too late here. And there definitely was a sense of darkness. It's brightened up now.
Swing and a miss by Gismondi. So now it's a full count. So full count to Gismondi. Zengardi at second. Nick passed at first. Both runners going. And that just missed for a ball. And Gismondi gets on base, and so now the bases are loaded. Sense of frustration here. This is going to bring in Anthony Savino. And Savino struck out in his last at bat. That one inside for a ball. So 1-0 to Anthony Savino. The Americans, 6 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. That one outside. Lundqvist having the stretch for it. 2-0. As that one driven out to right field. And Dugan makes the catch, and that'll end the inning. But on a couple of hits, 3 runs come across the score. It is 12-6, and we go to the top of the 8th. And welcome back here to Sal Maglie Stadium. Tarp Skunks up 12-6 as Slattery will face Muncie Delanto and CJ Dugan. And here to call the rest of the game all the way, it is Dre Guinness.
Thank you very much. As we go to the top of the 8th inning, Tarp Skunks holding on to a 6-run lead. 4 in the first, 4 in the second, 2 in the third and fourth, and zeros ever since. For the Americans, 1 in the first, and they went for a 4-inning drought before putting up 2 in the 6th and 3 in the 7th. And we'll see if the Tarp Skunks can respond here. It looks like we might have a new pitcher.
Oh, that is a lefty.
As that is number 20, it looks like number 29.
Foxcroft is what they have on the board.
I'll take their word for it because I don't see it on the roster at all. As the first pitch popped up to Nate Muncy out to left field, but it will drop foul. And the count goes to 0-1.
Still haven't seen a number on the pitcher.
It's either 29 or 39. Or it could be 28. Could be Marcus Castellan.
Marcus Castellan. Oh, yeah, that could be Marcus Castellan.
I'll check the live box score here in just a minute. As the next pitch to Muncy is a high chopper to first, picked up and diving into first base to make the tag on the bag is Shank. And there is quickly one away.
You know, he had to dive in head first for the tag at first base. Got to admire the aggressiveness there.
I guess he thought he didn't have enough time to take it to the bag himself. He probably could have beaten him by a half a step if he had just run it through. As Paul Delanto stands in, takes the first pitch he sees for a strike. And it's 0-1 the count. And Tyler Foxcroft, the new pitcher, wearing number 30. Which tells me that I probably should go get some contact lenses or something, because it looked like 29 or 28 from up here.
It did look like 28.
It's the new math. I was just rounding up. 0-2 the count to Delanto. That one misses high for a ball. And the count goes to 1-2. It's the new rule of the penny. You know, you go to places now and you'll see people either rounding up or rounding down because they're running out of pennies.
I did not know that, actually.
Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss, and Delanto goes down on strikes. 2 away here in the top of the 8th inning. And that will bring up Caleb Jordan. Or make that CJ Dugan. I was one ahead of myself. Yep. Phased out the penny. And some, fast food places and whatnot. Is that one swung on a miss for a strike? 0-1. Fast food places or whatnot. The one that I went to in Dunkirk on the way up to the game here tonight, they got a big sign that says, due to the shortage of pennies and the eradication of it, that one's taken for a strike, 0-2. We will round up your order up or down to the nearest nickel.
Is that like a deal they were doing? Or? Oh,
no, that's a permanent thing. That's going to be a thing. The penny is going to be no more. As that one misses for a ball, count goes to 1-2.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But a penny saved is a penny earned.
Not anymore. Popped up. First base side.
Oh, he's going to.
Sliding into the fence is Shank, and the ball just on the other side. And it'll stay 1-2.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, he was running pretty fast. I was afraid he was gonna collide with the fence over there.
So 1-2. That one misses up 2-2. Caleb Jordan on deck. He'll hit next. There's a ground ball past the diving shortstop Savino into left field, and a 2-out base hit for CJ Dugan. And that'll bring up Caleb Jordan.
And that one was hit pretty hard, just past the outstretched glove of Savino.
For Jordan, he's having an MVS kind of day. Quietly reached on an error that drove in 2 runs that should have been called a hit. He double drove in 2, walked and scored a run, and walked in his last at bat, and goes to 1-0 in this one. He's having himself a solid game today. Yeah, I'm gonna put him in the top of my consideration, as there's a line out to right field, and the side is retired. Tarp Skunks, no runs, a hit, nobody left. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is still 12-6. Joe Man.
And welcome back here in Sal Maglie Stadium, Niagara Falls, as the Tarp Skunks are up 12-6. New pitcher looks like it's Joe Man Santos, and here to tell you all about him, it is Dre Guinness.
It is Joe Man Santos on the mound for the Jamestown Tarp Skunks. Comes in his 8th appearance with a 1-0 record, a 2.13 ERA. 12 2/3 innings pitched. He's given up 11 hits, 4 runs, 3 of those earned, 6 walks against 12 strikeouts. And he will be facing the bottom of the Americans orders, as it's going to be Evan Shank to lead off here. Again, back at home Thursday, Community Bio Night presented by Jamestown Community College, as the arch rival Batavia Muck Dogs come into town to take on your Jamestown Tarp Skunks. And then back at home on Saturday, as the first pitch from Joe Man Santos taken for a strike, and the count is 0-1.
I'm glad he given us permission to call him that.
There's a fly ball out into center field. Moore able to line up with it, and quickly there is one away. Well, I mean, it's his nickname. That's what he puts on his Instagram. It's what his mom, who very lovely woman, I met on Thursday night. I think she actually stopped by to say hi as I was loading the gear up on the truck on Friday. I was just so mentally out of it I didn't recognize her, which, my bad. But, great kid, great family. As there's a line drive into center field, that is going to be a 1-out single for Tom Marcotte. And with 1 out, that's going to bring up the bottom of the order in Jackson Bauer. Bauer on the day, he's singled Grounded out to third and walked and scored a run. 1 for 2 officially on the day. Santos looks in, kicks and throws. First pitch. Missed where? 0-1?
Been seeing a lot of that all day.
Just a little bit. Runner fakes going. Pitch comes in for a strike. Count goes to 1-1.
That sort of thing, the fake steal you usually see out of the Tarp Skunks. But the Americans now are starting to do that.
That next one, swing and a miss, and the count goes to 1-2. Santos is unflappable, though. You know, as a left-handed pitcher, he's got a wicked pickoff move to first base, which is evidenced by the small lead at first, as that one comes in, fouled back and out of play. Look out, that one's going in the dark. And the count goes to, stays at 1-2. Santos with the long look, kicks and throws that one inside. And the count goes 2-2.
And you don't want to lose him here. You have to go after him now. With a full count, you got 2 strikes. One more can end it. Or end the at-bat.
2-2. Santos kicks and throws. That one misses just inside. 3-2.
Another fake steal by Evan Shank. Or not Evan Shank, by Thomas Marcotte.
Santos again. The payoff pitch. Popped up. First base side. There's room. Sliding and just running out of room is Branston Lindquist. Nate Muncie also converging, but just out of play.
Yeah, that hit the ramp on the right side by the tarp.
And you could hear the Tarp Skunks dugout yelling, room, room, indicating that there was room for them to go after it.
It sounded like Pat that said that.
So Santos looking in, getting a sign. Checks the runner. The payoff. Called strike 3. Joe Man with a strikeout. And now with 2 down, that's going to bring up the top of the order for Justin Gladfelter.
That was a good job by Joe Man Santos being able to work the count for a strikeout. Even though that was a tough at-bat, he was still able to get it.
So now 2 down here as Gladfelter stands in. Santos kicks and throws. First pitch misses inside for a ball. 1-0. For Gladfelter, 0 for 3 officially. He walked and scored last inning, but he struck out looking, grounded out and flew out. And a check over to first base. And Marcotte not going anywhere.
He has fake stealed a couple times. Could we probably see him on the run, actually?
1-0. That one misses low. 2-0. I don't think so. And here, my reasoning for thinking that is, with 2 down by 6, you don't want to run yourself into the third out trying to get into scoring position and take the bat out of your hitter's hands. And another fake steal. That ball missing outside. 3-0.
Again, like you said, got to be careful, though, because Lindquist could have gunned him at first.
3-0. That one catches the zone, and the count goes 3-1. That's actually, I remember that less for actually playing the game and more for because that was mentioned in the movie Brewster's Millions with Richard Pryor. As Santos loses Gladfelter, runners at first and second, and that's going to bring up David Harris.
And number 18, center fielder David Harris.
You know, Joe Man is going to have to figure something out because David Harris was not an easy out for Tino.
And he's 2 for 4 on the day. Couple of hits. Couple runs scored, and that one misses for a ball. 1-0.
As David Harris extended in that bat, I think well past 10 on his last at bat.
That one catches the zone. Count goes even, 1 apiece.
That's one thing with Harris is that he doesn't back down. But neither does Joe Man.
Lefty on lefty. Santos kicks and throws. And you, again, it's that low pitch in the zone that you're either going to get or you're not. It's a coin flip. And that one went against Santos. So now 2-1 the count. That one comes in low, 3-1. No arguing about that one.
And again, saw Mercado doing a fake steal at second once again.
So Santos 3-1 needs to come in here. And I'm at a loss for words. I'm at a loss for words on a pitch that is right at the knees over the zone that gets called for a ball.
Yeah, it's really frustrating. I don't really know what else to say about that. It's just really frustrating. Well, you know what? Santos super knows that.
Matt Ganschow stands in. Base is patriotic here. And the first pitch past the diving Weeks at third down the line. That is going to be extra bases. 2 runs are going to score on the double. And the Americans are not out of it yet. It's 12-8.
And that's the thing. Good job by Eric Wiggs being able to try and dive for that one, but it just gets past his outstretched glove and goes into the outfield. So now a run comes in the score because of it.
That's going to bring up Dom Zangardi. 2 across here in the bottom of the 8th inning for the Americans. That one's fouled back. The count goes to 0-1. I mean, that's a hard play at third for Eric Weeks to defend. A left-handed hitter going opposite way down the line. And heck of an effort. Almost snagged it, but just under his glove.
All day. They only hit it in the pool. Let's go.
And
got hit by the pitch there.
Zangardi hit by a pitch. And the bases are patriotic again with 2 out. That's going to bring up Nick Pats.
Let's go.
3 for 3 on the day. 3 singles, a run scored, and an RBI back in the 7th.
Go, Nick.
Let's see if Santos can close this one out. That one misses way up and away, 1-0. There is no action in the Skunks bullpen at this point.
That's most likely going to change in the 9th inning.
As that one misses outside for a ball, 2-0. And if I'm Lindquist, I'm going out to the mound to talk to him right here just to kind of settle him down. 2-0 hitters count for the 5th place hitter for the Americans as the next one comes in. And Santos back in the zone. Count goes to 2-1.
Good thing that Joe is going to keep on fighting, get back at this at-bat.
And that one missed somewhere. Now it's 3-1.
Like you said, that missed somewhere. The problem with this angle is that it's really hard to see where the ball is actually placed.
That one right down the heart, 3-2. So Santos working it to the end game here. Runners are going to be off on this payoff pitch.
Don't want to walk him here because if he does, a run comes in to score.
3-2. Line drive down the left field line. Foul, and we'll do it again.
Go, Nick.
So Santo knows that Nick is going to pull that one left. He's going to have to breeze something past him.
3-2 swing and a miss. And Joe Man Santos gets out of it, and the Tarp Skunks give up 2. But they go to the 9th, leading by a score of 12-8.
And welcome back here at the top of the 9th. Tarp Skunks up 12-8. New pitcher for the Americans. We'll get you the splits on him as he will face, I think he will face Muncie Delanto and Dugan. And here to tell you all about it, it is Dre Guinness.
All right, Jalen, here we go. Going to the top of the 9th inning. And the Tarp Skunks like to add a little insurance just to make sure. They're going to send up Lindquist, Kiefer, and Dumas. And we'll see. It's going to be Rotaro Munakata, the relief pitcher for the Americans. And I'm sitting here looking. All right, who are we doing most valuable player for? Looking. I've got too many choices, so I'm going to just throw them all out there. Zach McLean definitely gets the most valuable stinker from the pitching standpoint. 4 spectacular innings. Felt he could probably have gone 5, but the pitch count kind of worked against him there. And then my other 2 was going to be C.J. Dugan and Caleb Jordan. Both of those guys had great nights at the plate. They're really starting to pick it up here.
That is true. I'm going to put in Eric Weeks, and I'm going to put in Tito Kiefer also.
And I think you mentioned Matthew Dumas as an honorable mention.
Yeah, you got to put Matthew Dumas in this.
I mean, there are so many choices. Grant Moore also at the top of the order. First 3 at-bats, first 3 innings, got on base. He had a pretty successful evening as well. As we got some fireworks popping off in the background as the first pitch to Branson Lindquist misses for a ball, and the count goes to 1-0.
We'll see. If they put Chase Barron, I'm calling him.
Yeah, I gotta tell you, for Munakata, he has no pitching line here for the Americans, so he is a position player sweeping up garbage time. You gotta wonder, the Americans, are they running low on arms at this point? Is it fatigue? What's going on here? As Lindquist works the count to 3-0.
Could be fatigue. The Americans didn't have a 3-game break like we did.
Oh, that's right. I almost forget about that. As Branson Lindquist draws a 4-pitch leadoff walk here in the top of the 9th inning.
Stepping in shortstop number 1, Tito Keeper.
But it also could be tiredness, fatigue, or just running out of arms.
Or maybe just not wanting to use up as many arms as they originally would have. So there's a line drive into right field. That's going to be a base hit. Lindquist is going to be held at second. So the first two runners aboard here for the Skunks. And that's going to bring up Matthew Dumas.
I will say, even if you do put on some runs on the board, I would still put in Chase Barron just for the sure close.
So now Matthew Dumas is actually being replaced by Anthony Traumer. So Dumas's night is done as they're going to bring in a right-hander. Righty facing a righty. And a balk has been called against Munakata. And that's going to put runners in scoring position here.
I think it was probably the shoulder. Cannot move that shoulder once you're set. Or they're going to call that a balk.
At first, when I heard that's a balk, I thought that was someone in the Skunks dugout saying that, and guess not. As now the Americans infield plays in, swing and a miss, ball gets behind, passed, and Lindquist comes in to score. So the Tarp Skunks get that insurance run they were looking for free. That's 13-8.
There you go. Being able to make up some runs after going scoreless after 4 innings.
So now 0-1 to Traumer, but another run 90 feet away. There's a ground ball too short. Throw comes into home. And Kiefer thrown out at the plate on the fielder's choice. That was a good play by Savino to glove a sharp ground ball and go right to the plate. Throw was spot on.
Yeah, that was a pretty good play. But unfortunately, he got out at home.
So now Grant Moore will come up to the plate. Runner at first is Traumer, one away here, top of the 9th inning. And the first pitch missing for a ball, 1-0.
Still going to need to get something going here.
So the balk didn't hurt as much. Moore officially 1 for 3, 2 walks on the day as well. A couple runs scored. Is that one in the dirt? That one's going all the way to the backstop, and moving all the way to second is Anthony Traumer, so he's back in scoring position.
And I remember you saying the pitcher right now, he doesn't really have a stat sheet for him in terms of pitching. Or does he?
No. According to the stat sheet, this would be his first pitching appearance.
So again, we'd probably the inexperience at pitching right here.
So that one misses up, and the count goes 3-0.
I shouldn't say inexperienced pitching. It was the first pitching appearance for him this season.
As that one misses, and a walk. Puts runners at first and second back to Eric Weeks, who homered back in the 5th inning. He's been hit by a pitch. He's 3 for 3 for the day. Single, double, home run. All he needs is a triple for the cycle. Wouldn't that be something?
That would. Hey, I talk about PGCBL not giving us highlights on the story.
As Traumer and Moore double steal, no throw. So runners advance second and third. And Weeks facing a 1-0 count.
But that would be something if he could get the cycle here.
I could retire. Let you do the rest of the season by yourself. Here's the gear. I'm going to stay home.
If he gets the cycle?
If he gets the cycle, I think that's the last thing I haven't called. 2-0. Infield in again. There's a drive into left field. Coming in on it and making the catch is Ganschow. Runners are going to have to hold as the throw comes in and is cut off. And now 2 away. And that's going to bring up Heath Fetchick.
You know, even though that was pretty good contact, but Ganschow was able to make the catch, and that was a good call not to send Caleb Jordan, because if you saw that throw was on line.
Yeah. Plus, they've already had one thrown out at the plate here tonight.
That was Kiefer.
And we're going to get another substitution here. It doesn't look like it's a...
No, I think that's a pitcher.
Yeah, it is. It looks like it is going to be a new pitcher here.
I think it's another two-way pitcher, actually.
Christian Mikulski is going to be the new pitcher for the Niagara Falls Americans. We'll take a break. We'll be back when he's ready to go. It's 13-8. Christian Mikulski, the new Niagara Falls pitcher. And another one I have no pitching record on.
Another position player.
Yep.
Notice he didn't call to the bullpen. He just came out of the dugout.
As the first pitch gets behind Pats coming in to score, is Traumer on the pass ball, and it's now 14-8.
Again, another run that was given to them via pass ball.
You know, it's something that the Skunks had been giving up a lot of freebies, and, you know, it's the buy one, get one free program. Well, the Tarp Skunks are getting their free ones here tonight. There's a drive into center field, but Harris underneath it puts it away, and the side is retired, but the Skunks put up 2 on a couple of walks. We go to the bottom of the 9th. Skunks lead 14-8. If you're a Niagara Falls Americans fan, I've got some bad news for you. As all business, Chase Barron takes the mound for the bottom of the ninth, comes in his 6th appearance. He comes in with a 1-0 record, 1.13 ERA. He has 2 saves on the season, 8 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run earned. He's walked 4, struck out 16, and he will be facing, for the Niagara Falls Americans,
lead off the bottom of the ninth for the Americans is the DH number 13, Derek Gismondi.
Derek Gismondi to lead things off. And then Savino and Shank. 6, 7, 8 due up here. As Chase Barron set to go here. Not a save situation, but in the stats, but definitely a much needed moral save for the team. Morale save?
Yeah.
Moral victory?
The save.
Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
And one thing that Chase Barron is, his balls are not hard or not easy to hit. It's not even easy to make contact off of.
The 0-2. That one just missed, and the count goes 1-2. He doesn't mess around. He brings gas, and he brings it in the zone. That one, I don't know where it missed. Lindquist's glove didn't even move.
It really didn't. I'm pretty sure he called that a strike in the previous call.
And the 2-2. That one in the carpet, 3-2. Good stop by Lindquist. And the pitch. Swung on Thursday, line drive into right field. That is a base hit.
His pitches aren't easy to make contact on, but he did get a single off of that. But Chase Barron just needs to worry about the hitters and get out of this.
That's going to bring up Anthony Savino. Savino came in the 6th. He's flown out to center. He's flown out to right. Takes the first pitch he sees for a called strike.
There you go. Got to go after him. Savino has been struggling. Due for a hit. But Chase Barron wants to get out of this.
Ooh, that one. That hit him?
No, that didn't hit him. But that did hit the glove of Lindquist.
I was wondering why he wasn't making the move to walk to first base. Hitting over to second on the pass ball is Gismondi.
I know he did take a screenshot of that one.
As the count goes 1-2. Barron looking to lock down. Takes a brief glance behind him at second. Kicks and throws. Called strike 3. And now there are 1 away. 15th strikeout for Barron on the season. And that's going to bring up Evan Shank.
Got Gismondi at second, but I don't think Barron really cares. Just wants to go after the batter. That one swung on and missed.
You just lost my mind there trying to decipher my scorebook to figure out when Shank came in. I've got him coming into the 6th and grounding into a double play. So 0-1, runner goes to third. Lindquist not concerned, and the pitch is called a strike, and the count goes to 0-2.
Well, yeah, neither is Barron or Lindquist concerned about the runner.
And that's the exact approach he needs to have. That runner is inconsequential at this point. So the 0-2 pitch comes in, just misses below the knees. And the count goes to 1-2.
And like I said, gotta have the approach that the runner is not really going to change much.
And that runner's not even there, according to Chase Barron. Swing and a miss. And 2 down. And that'll bring up the last hope. As Thomas Marcotte represents the last chance for the Tarps or for the Americans here. First pitch popped up behind second base. Going out is Jordan. Underneath it, and he makes the catch, and that is your ball game. Tarp Skunks break a 3-game slide with a 14-8 win over the Niagara Falls Americans here at Sal Maglie Field. We'd like to remind you that we will be back home on Thursday against the Batavia Muck Dogs Community Buyout Night, presented by Jamestown Community College. For Jalen Ferguson, Andre Guinness, thanking you for joining us here tonight. And until next time, good night, everybody.